me
Try that.
Has anybody watched Cobra Kai?
Oh, Hal, what did you just do?
My whole family is like totally addicted to it.
Okay, so at first I watched it, I was like, this is a little hokey, but it's actually like really good.
Hey, Hal, the audio was fine. I'm getting it through the. But you messed up the screens. Now it has RPG,
I
MP3.
didn't mess anything up. Hold on.
There you go.
You put
It's
Discord in
all
front.
stuff in the process. We got a dog bed, and my cat has taken over it, and it's so freaking adorable.
Not for the dog.
Yeah, the dog's like, meh. No,
Let's move out of my crib.
We're gonna get him a bigger dog bed. This one's big, but he also like lays half on it, half off of it. He likes to feel the cool floor while also being cushioned partially. I get it. It's like sleeping in your bed with one leg hanging out because it helps keep you cool.
Hey, Hal, I can hear you on the other computer. I get to hear our.
What does that mean? Hear me on.
I can hear the stream on the computer.
In other words, we have audio.
Correct, we have audio.
All right, let's try this with another start, shall we? Because that one kind of sucked, didn't it? Really? Let's not lie.
That's how we roll.
Hello.
No. I'm just going to start again. Let's just pretend now. So, welcome to session 35 of Iron Gods on RPG MP3.
Grab a bucket and a mop for this Alabama hot pocket.
Thanks. Just get a glass and
that is the
take
intro.
the wine. That better come back. Stole my wine.
Uh-oh.
All right, I'll cut it there for the audio. But
Whining about the wine.
yeah, it's nice. Yes, apparently the recording computer didn't make a good connection to Discord, so we missed the audio. You know, if we had monitors and professional production crew, what can you do? So, how's everybody's day been? How was the laser penis?
Okay, it was actually ultrasounded penis.
Oh, that's good. That's better.
Was it non-corporeal or something like that? Or no, extracorporeal shockwave lithoscopy.
That sounds exciting. Non-corporeal. Sounds like a ghost doing it.
Yeah, you got blown by an earthbender. That's what it sounded like.
So theoretically, that's all good. I got some good drugs if I need them, and I get to, pee a little blood and sand for a few weeks.
Ouch.
And there's a Patreon goal for our site that can get things leftover medication if you want. No, I'm kidding.
Really?
Oh my God. No, that's so not true in any way, shape, or fashion. No.
Absolutely not true. And
You
I'm not
can
going to mix them all together to make numinarian fluids.
That's
And
right.
I will help you by asking my husband, who's a fucking doctor, how to properly dispose of your drugs so that shit doesn't happen.
Well, that's where I went to.
Don't do drugs, kids. Dare to resist violence and drugs addiction. What does it stand for now? I can't remember. It's not actually dare anymore.
Fuck that. I'm going to fight someone for their drugs.
Again, really?
And if you're crossing the border to
Evan, do you want
pick
to do
up your...
3 for the start of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We
We can always cut it again.
Not refer to them as drugs.
Like I'll cut that first part out. It'll just be silence for 20 minutes.
And it'll be the best recording we have.
Actually, Chad did say that once the sound came on, it got a bit worse.
So we're on our way back to Dinvaya's temple, right?
Yeah.
And I have my axe. I'm like holding, like stopping, like the wind is taken out of me. That's really hard.
Using it as a cane.
Yes.
You are exhausted. Yeah, you are pretty tired. Constitution of what at the moment?
5.
Bruises easily, but he's got all his strength at least.
Yeah, that's true. You're strong. You're just exhausted a lot of the time.
Which is weird because I don't get fatigue.
Really? You never get fatigued? The
Nope.
robot.
Android.
Oh yeah, not a
Can
robot.
they?
Robot.
Ixnay
Robot?
on the Obot Ray with
Who is a fucking robot? If there's a robot around here, I will kill them thusly.
Oh, hey, Nick, I think your French accent's improved. Must be all the practice.
I am trying to get better at my French accent.
We had quite an action-packed episode last time. We had
Yeah, you
for
did.
those who haven't listened to it.
Yes. The wraith fight.
Well, it was
Yeah.
the investigation of the.
From last time. I mean, I know that we ended everything by taking like a walk of badassery back to town while we were also exhausted. But does anybody else want to like talk about exactly what happened?
So we'd been exploring this small crashed ship, or pod, I believe it was referred to in the recording we found. We'd just stopped last session outside the locked door to what turns out to be the cockpit. Managed to get through. The skeleton in a red suit crumbled, and Wraithy McWraitherson, the former pilot, came through and tried to eat us.
Wraithy McWraitherson.
I was protected. He tried to get me several times, but luckily I had my little glowy vial of sunlight on me, and I think that kept me safe because he wasn't able to hit me at all. Although he did eat, 12 points of con from Kesdu or something like that.
He took a lot of con from a Kesdu.
9. I took 9.
9. And a little bit from Kiernan, I think.
I took 4.
So we're going to have to see if hopefully Dinvaya has some powdered diamond on hand for all her crafting purposes.
That isn't the material component for the lower casting of that spell. I thought we talked about that.
No, it's less of it.
Oh, gotchas.
It's still powdered diamond. You just only need 100 gold pieces rather than 1,000 gold pieces worth.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Was
so
it-
we're heading back to town and we're going to go see Dinvaya first.
Is it
I think so because we have to give her first pick of the loot.
Yeah.
Well,
And we have to assume that she's watching us as well. Remember her divination that she was going to be checking on us.
She also has that little silver bird that could be flying around us at some point. I should keep an eye out for that more often.
All right, well, let's get back to Dinvaya's place.
Okay, you return to Dinvaya.
I'm walking in as my axe, using it as a cane.
It seems like you need to do more cardio. Maybe lay off the weights a little bit. Go for a jog.
You silly man.
I'm like wheezing.
I like that. He's buff, but he's got no endurance.
I am constantly smoking and I can walk fine.
Don't skip leg day.
Yeah.
I mean, Buligup never skips leg day.
Such strong legs.
Ask them to Dinvaya and says, I think that we have something that you would really appreciate. Dinvaya.
Ah. Welcome back. How can I help you?
I'll lean him against the wall with my
we
hand.
owe you-
It's how can we help you?
So,
we owe you to pick up
Fat
I
loot.
hear you cleaned out the wreck and the fog dissipated. That's pretty interesting. You'll get a lot of recognition for that, I would think.
I certainly hope so.
Oh, I'm going to cancel my hat so I don't look like I'm wearing a spacesuit anymore.
Cancel my hat. No more hat.
That
Oh, what did you get?
Many things. Wait, that'll take too long. Can I reach out and touch her and say a word?
What are you doing?
I'm casting a verbal only spell.
You're casting a spell on someone without telling them you're doing it.
Oh, I say, please excuse. Telling you all this would be too inefficient.
Uh-huh. So what you
And-
proposing?
I would like to show you all these things we've got.
Zip.
Okay.
So I will
Put them on the floor. What are you doing? You know, like Zappa with some nanites.
No, I'm going to cast Mind Link because I've
Oh, wow,
never
that's
used that
pretty-
spell.
That's pretty cool. You have that spell?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. I mean, I guess I can understand it with the party. You probably don't want to actually link with any of them. Maybe Nicodemus.
Well, and it's only good for me giving people information. So
Oh, I mean, you could try to improve some of these people a little bit.
well, that's true. I could educate people against their will or something too.
Right?
How many lights do you see?
But basically, yeah, I can communicate 10 minutes of information, non-language dependent.
That's pretty cool. You should do that.
I decide what the target learns, limited to the amount of information that otherwise could be communicated in 10 minutes. The information comes as a series of visual images and emotional sensations, but I don't have emotions, so I guess it's just visual images and isn't language dependent. So I will replay her all the items we found, where we found them in the stuff, and, up to 10 minutes of our exploration there, which could be most of it, actually.
Hey. Looks like how long does it take to blast that into her head?
It's instantaneous.
Oh,
Oh,
That
sorry,
was
one standard action, but it's
like 6 seconds, and you're
yeah.
like, there's 10 minutes of information.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Give me 6 seconds and I will blast something into her head as well.
I mean, you could do it twice in 6 seconds, right?
Oh.
I mean, you're French after all.
And still have time to cuddle afterwards.
Right, the cuddling is important.
The
That's a 2-second
tadpole arm of love.
So, I see you got some interesting things there. Nothing really robotic, though, eh?
No.
But we do have there was a something with. Do we know what do people in here know what the older beings were or what they were from the old times?
Did we
Older
get
being-
dark blue?
Like aliens or whatever.
No,
No.
no. There's no real stories of it. There's certain people who know more about what actually happened, but the general populace just thinks it's like an older civilization, and these are strange ruins in the desert.
Couldn't we just tell her that there's a whole I don't know, something out there in the undead area that's full with all this old technology stuff? Maybe
Well,
she
it's
just wants to
mostly
go there.
melted.
Well, she doesn't know that.
Well,
She does.
I
Just
just
what she
showed her
told
most of it.
her.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So I've got the inventory if you want to have me repeat it quickly for the listeners.
Oh, I think I know what I want. They should go back and listen to the previous episode, don't you think?
That's right, the bastards.
I think what I was thinking is there's no real robotic stuff here, so I'm thinking these spacesuits are looking interesting. Maybe I could do something with those.
They are time worn and broken, but
Yes, it's true. I mean, I'm not talking about going into,
space.
space. No. But maybe I could build something inside of one of them. Maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
take that broken too.
Was there only 2? I have 2 broken time worm
That's
spacesuits and
4.
2
There's
time
2
worn.
there's-
Right.
There's 2 broken and 2 time worn. I think that's what I'll take. I'll take the spacesuits off you.
All 4?
Yes, I think that's fair. I think I can make one good thing out of that.
Tatia would ask if that sounds all right to everybody, and
Yes, technically it's more than 1 pull, but we got quite a bit there, so I think it's very fair compensation.
he does get first pick, and I'm cool with that. Okay.
Your
And we agreed to
friends
give her
love
what she
it.
wants.
I'm going to turn to Dinvaya and say, these suits are all for you.
Thank you.
I mean, technically, we promised you one thing, but We would be nice.
Oh, the frog.
In the interest
Shut the fuck up.
of future relations for mutual
I would
benefit.
be happy to make whole on one of them for you if that would help.
Tyrell's been very barky
I
recently.
wonder if Bry provides that.
Let
you
me
know?
go and kick him in the muzzle.
Well, she's definitely got it
let me
available
close
to
my
her.
door. Bite my foot off. Hang on, I'll be back. Let me close the door.
She probably has something even better, like greater make
Tyrell,
whole.
I would like to ask her if Dinvaya can heal our con.
Sit on the sofa,
Well,
bark it.
Yeah, we just haven't gotten there yet. Role play that.
She'll probably have to do it tomorrow because she probably doesn't keep that spell normally prepared. Or prayer.
She better. If we are giving her 4 spacesuits instead of just 1, she should help us out.
Apparently, I need to noise reduce the dog. He sat on the sofa just outside the door, literally just barking. Just sat there, chill as anything, just barking.
It's all the ghosts in your new house that you don't see yet.
What I'm thinking, it's pretty bad. There's a lot of ghosts.
It's all that Stephen King shit going on in your house in the past years.
Because of that cool attic that's in that room with you right now. That's why.
You mean what's where the ghosts are? That's what he's worried about. He's worried about me
Exactly. It's like an attic that you crawl into from a small door or from a door in the side of the room, and it's just kind of like a partial attic in that area. But it's totally haunted.
There's a new feature in Discord that is in beta, but it's a noise reduction, external noise reduction feature that I thought had filters for dog barks because of the
that would be
staying at
nice.
home and stuff.
That would be nice. Screaming children, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ma'am, Timmy took my food.
All right. So, Dinvaya, have we done the trade yet? Is that official? Like, or not trade? Have we given her our stuff?
She takes the suit and puts them into one of the side rooms. So your friend isn't looking too well there. I guess one of the beasties got him.
Yeah, the wraith of the captain of the small craft, I believe.
Aye, that sounds terrible. He must look very sick. Oh, look, he's all worn out.
Would you happen to have or know of a source for diamond dust? I believe they require actual restoration, which is beyond me.
Aye, probably. I mean, I can find some, probably. Maybe I've got some lying around here, but you're asking me to cast a spell again, I see.
Well, yes, we would have to negotiate a price, I'm sure. So.
Aye, we would.
How about those 3 spacesuits we gave you?
That was for services rendered, my little friend.
1.
I mean, maybe we can negotiate something else into the price. So it's going to cost me 100 gold in diamonds to cast this spell.
And our roguish gentleman suffers a more minor version of the same condition.
Oh, you had your con drained as well. I forgot.
Quick, undo it on your character sheet, Kiernan.
Oh, but if I hold hands and friendship is magic with a Kestu, one casting will do us both.
I believe we'd have to merge you into a single being temporarily.
I mean, we can do that.
If you both drink the Numerian fluids at the same time, then she can just cast it into the bucket.
That's
that you
right.
guys
A
slump into.
Boilermaker chaser.
Don't drink the punch. All right. So what was the last thing that was said in the game? So she said
What
do
was
it.
the last thing?
How much money we're going to potentially spend? Are we in agreement that we will spend that on our dear Timothy?
Well, it depends how much
Our
money
dear
it's going to cost.
too.
Very, very likely, but she hasn't given us a full price yet, just what her cost is.
Because I'm busy
isn't
looking
how-
it up.
This isn't how negotiation works, though. We don't have a lot of money, remember, Tatia?
What?
What do you mean negotiations? No, she sets the price and we have to meet it or say we can't afford it and leave, right?
That's how androids think. That's not how people think.
What's the cost for spell casting? It's something like caster level times spell level times like 10 gold pieces, something like that.
Yeah.
Plus the cost of any material components.
For a neutral party, but surely we're friends by now.
No, that's the cost for a raid, I think. Is that right? Can't force her to cast it. Chat thinks you should fight her.
Oh my
con of
gosh,
5.
no! She's
If
the
your
one
constitution of
What
5.
do
Yeah, that sounds
we have in this town.
Especially since we're usually not good about actually taking people alive or bludgeoning them into submission.
Besides, we might actually need her services again.
And she's dealt fairly with us. I think we should probably deal fairly with her.
spell casting. Price given for any spell that does not require a costly material component. If the spell requires a material component, add the cost of the component to the cost of the spell. The indicated amount is how much it costs to get a spellcaster to cast a spell for you. This price assumes that you go to the spellcaster and have the spellcaster at her convenience.
Okay. So caster level times spell level times 10.
I think that's correct. Is that what you're seeing too?
Yeah.
Okay, so caster level is 8, spell level is 4 for lesser restoration, correct?
Yeah.
Is it 4 for
Not
lesser?
lesser.
Or no,
It's not
Or
lesser. We
it's
need
Restoration is
full
4.
restoration. Yeah.
Lesser is 2. So she
Right.
is level 8. The spell is level 2, so that's 16. So that's 260 gold a cast.
I believe lesser won't do con drain. It'll do damage.
Right, it's temporary damage only.
Yeah, because
So-
I can
hang on,
I can
does
cast
not
lesser.
restore permanent ability drain.
Yeah.
Okay, hold
I can
on.
cast
So
Luster.
you're talking about actual restoration then.
Yeah. So 8
Uh,
times 4 times
spells
10.
temporary levels,
It's a
1 negative permanent
fourth.
level. The spell uses plus permanent levels. This spell restoration cures all temporary ability damage and restores all points of permanently drained from a single ability score. Your choice.
Which luckily it only did con. So
Mhm.
320
So-
plus the 100 plus
Yeah, so
whatever markup you
It's
need.
going to be 420 a casting. Is that right?
Yep.
Is it 8 times 4 times 10? The math kids. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 420.
420 a casting. So to get them both done, but the drain is going to be 840 gold. Does the party fund have 840 gold in it?
Yes. I vote we pay for that out of the party fund.
It's my vote as well.
Because you're receiving it.
I say we structure
It
for
really
the
is what it's for.
Yeah. So that's 3 against 3-4. I guess that passes on simple majority.
I like the cold logic.
Are you in the loot sheet, Kiernan?
Oh yeah,
Bill?
I am. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
So
you want to just take it out of the
you'll have
party money at the top?
I'll have
How
to
much
come
was
back.
it?
840.
I'll have
Unless
to
you're
come
doing a
back
markup.
tomorrow. I haven't got the spell memorized.
Sure.
I'll
Okay,
pray
then.
for it in the morning, and Bri will give it to me, and then I can cast it on you.
Excellent.
Chat isn't happy if they say you're chicken. They want Nick to attack her. Don't let them spend money, Buligup. You earned it.
He earned a fifth. He earned a fifth of that money.
I earn the money and others spend it. You are like my ex-wife.
Which one?
All of them.
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy.
All right, so we'll.
Here, Kermit the Frog here.
So I guess we go rest and then come back in the morning.
Back them up at labs, unless we get like jumped by Lords of Rust or something in the meantime. Or...
If she know if they have started to notice us, are we putting her in danger by coming here? Should we stay the night here?
I think everybody leaves her alone because she has a bad rep.
Yeah, but
Already?
not the
So-
Lords of Rust. If they think that she's a threat in
Right.
helping us, then they may come and give her a visit if we don't stick around.
I hear that actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf is one of the Lords of Rust, so we better be careful.
I love how the stats for that.
What the hell is this? I saw a glimpse of it on my phone, and I haven't bothered to look into it. What is this ridiculousness?
People statted it for D&D 5.
So, no, not the stats. He's going to send to the video.
Oh yeah, that's pretty horrifying too. But
So I can't-
Theo or Boop, anything is pretty
Are
horrifying.
you sending the video on Messenger?
I'm gonna put it in the Twitch.
That's a good idea. All the chats. So the animated one's better, I think, but the dance one's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I didn't see any animated one.
There is an animated one. You've got to hunt for it.
Nice.
Okay, so you're going to rest where? It would be impossible to sleep where Dinvaya is because
that's
of all
right.
the talks and noise.
I think we have the option of Hawk Palace, or I think the Red Tooth people would welcome us too. But
Red Tooth would put you up, but basically everybody in the party except for Buligup is uncomfortable in their warrens because the ceilings are so low.
yes,
They're only 4 foot high. Ikestu has to squeeze through the tunnels there.
and we've kind of already got lodgings at Hawk Palace, so.
We had another
where
base
they were
to
sitting.
sleep in at one point.
True. If you want to try and evict the Kellids now,
With the Roomba robot vacuum. Only Roomba uses.
I'm so sorry. I can't shut it up. Okay, I shut it up. I'm watching the shadow of a video. I got caught.
Yeah, we could go to the Hawk Palace and sleep there.
right? Hawk
Sure.
Palace or the Gatehouse, I think is one of the two we were sleeping in.
Yes. Well, I think you had rooms in. Well, you had room in one place, and you could sleep in the gatehouse if you wanted.
Yeah.
So you can go and rest. The Silver Hawks, no, whatever the hell, the Steel Hawks will look after you.
Do people appear to be paying particular attention to us in town?
I mean, they're looking at you. It seems like word of your clearing out of the haunted area, something that's never been managed before, has actually spread around town to a certain degree.
Good thing I removed my space suit at least.
Right? Maybe that was the secret. Oh, I think Wit's watching actual.
She needs to mute her.
Oh, the giggling's funny.
So we also have some Silex charges.
Yes.
And so we also have the
Silex.
detonators for them. So if we go and do some, group knowledge engineering roles to try to find the weak structural points in the array, we can take that mofo down at I think at some point where they call for an arena, or hey, here comes the arena and people are coming, and then we hit the big red blinking button, and then as everyone's in the arena, they get a nice view of that thing coming down and fiery scrap.
I don't know. I think unless something else happens in the story, I think we will actually get an invitation once we do that.
Is it
Because
really
we've done everything else here, right?
Or summons?
Well, that's
yeah,
meta.
or whatever summons.
That's meta a little bit, though, right? We're trying to have this capability of drawing power from torch removed. So we're going to get rid of that.
Yeah.
From what I remember of looking through the array, could I estimate if it would take all the charges of Silex, or if we might be able to do it with just one?
I mean, it depends. You think to guarantee success, you might be able. You would want to put all 3 charges in the right places. I mean, that would definitely bring that down. You could probably manage it with a single charge if you put it in exactly the right place. And I mean, nothing. I mean, a lot of the steps and stuff up there were rickety as anything, but the actual array itself is pretty solid.
Well, and I could. I mean, we don't even need the detonators. I think I can set off Silex with a lightning bolt. But
Yeah,
It's probably true.
but but then if everything comes rushing,
well, yeah.
So
Yeah, so I think we should go get our hit points up and get our constitution up, because I'll tell the group something is still in that array area. If we started feeling like bad thoughts, right?
Yeah, something affected your meat brain.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was just you and one other.
I think that happened to a wit too.
Oh, okay.
I did not notice anything. But
So
it's
like,
good.
I do believe there's something like you see the fear in Akestu's eyes, where I feel like there is something. There's something that still lives there.
Well, all the more
What's in
reason
there?
all the more reason to get in and get out. If it might not survive the detonation, but even if it does, we won't be anywhere near around when it happens. So
Or
Yeah.
if it knows what we're trying to do, it might show itself because we're trying to blow up its home.
Yeah, so I think we should get our hit points up, and then we could go to the receiver array.
oh hell yeah, I'm not talking
Oh,
to
yeah.
it now.
I need to
We don't
select
want
different spells for not fighting undead.
right, and we don't want Granny Greenface here with the Walker Great Axe to have to fight. So
Yeah, literally, get gangrene.
It's fine as long as he doesn't have to hit anyone.
right, or
Well, or
Porky
get
shows
hit.
up.
Well, and plus he'll be like exhausted after every third swing or something. He'll be
Mm.
fatigued.
Yeah, well, ultimately, his axe is so heavy it would definitely fatigue him to use it. It's enormous.
Yeah, he's got the strength, but not the stamina.
Right, he can swing once, and then it's like a 2-pump chump.
Sloth love chunk.
So,
All right, so we're gonna
Hang on a
drink it
second,
up
hang
and
on,
party
hang on,
with
hang on, hang on.
Timo.
I would like a short review of what Wit just giggled her way through.
Oh God.
I mean,
I'm gonna
watched
get a drink while we're doing that. Be right back.
video. That's what it was. I watched it, and because I wasn't watching it with any audio, I had the subtitles on, and I was just watching the whole video, and it was so bizarre. I was like, what the fuck? And then it cuts out, and then at the end, it's you know what.
You're walking in the woods.
You should watch the actual video with the sound because it's hilarious.
There's no one around you when your friend is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him.
Is that what it sounds like?
Yes, it's great.
Heavy reverb ASMR.
Oh, it is.
It's really great.
Oh my god. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazingly good.
That made me laugh.
Everyone should, everyone should look at the link.
Even Shia LaBeouf that's not going to cannibalize you is terrifying. So he might just act in front of you if he really hates you. I mean, that's like Vogon poetry.
Is it weird? But like, do you ever feel like you admire him in the same way that you are weirded out by him?
Well, it's
like Gary Busey.
Or Cillian Murphy, who just looks a little unnerving because he's a little too pretty and plays creeps a little too well.
Who is that? Who's that?
No, he's perfectly beautiful. I want to.
Yeah.
Name's familiar. Who is that?
He played Scarecrow in the Batman.
Or we would just practice and never make babies. His choice. We could do literally whatever he wanted to do. I think he is so pretty.
That's funny.
He's like on my list.
Your allowed list?
Oh yeah.
The allowed list. It's funny.
Yeah,
I
like
think
Ross.
he's on both of our lists, actually, isn't he, Evan? Is Cillian Murphy on your list too?
Yes.
Funny.
All right, so where are we sleeping tonight?
Hawk Palace.
Apparently around Cillian Murphy's house.
Tatia wants everybody to disregard her giant pillow that has a printout of Cillian Murphy on it.
Yeah, why is it all wet and sticky?
It
So we
smells a little fishy.
That's horrible.
So we're gonna stay at the Hawk Palace.
I believe so.
Yeah, so we're gonna we have that upper deck area, I guess, where I'd like to try and we want to have an exit plan in case this place is raided, because I'm assuming the rank and file will alert us if anything happens. I'm not sure
Rank
if
and file.
Are any of the Lords of Rust following us when we're walking to? Can we roll a perception, see if they're trailing us or anything?
Yeah, at any point you may roll a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's where I'm worried about is getting tailed.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, what is okay?
I got a 25.
18, it's great. 17, it's beautiful. You don't think anybody's following you?
Problem is the Lords of Rust. It's like who's ever not in one of the gangs is in the Lord of the Rust gang, essentially.
Well,
What
we
about
already know
what about
the
Smilers? Are they
prominent
following
members.
us?
Honestly, the Smilers have become quite disorganized since you wiped out Marrow. You see them, the gang itself is still kind of hanging around, but you've destroyed the power structure pretty effectively. So they're not cohesive at the moment.
Are there Kellids following us?
There are no Kellids
folks.
following
You
I
should
mean,
make
there's
them
all kinds of people around. What? Hello, Ford.
Are
you
there
should make them roll
any
perception on
cats
all of
following
these.
us?
Just make everybody roll perception.
Just
All
for
right.
anyone that want to know if they're following us, make them roll specifically for that.
perception.
Gotta look out for the
Perception for
members of the
Red
Technic
Folk.
League. 12.
Roll perception for robots and androids and all
Technic
of
League
that
members.
noise. Right, technically robots. Okay, I understand what you said. No, you don't think you're being followed particularly. I mean, this place is always dangerous. This place is always filled with terrible things. And there are dangerous people everywhere, but you don't suspect that any of them this evening are particularly following you. Actually, if anything, some people are getting out of your way a little more than they were before.
Nice, and we notice.
That's
Although-
fucking right. They
On a
finally
25,
noticed badasses.
with a 25, Kiernan notices that several people are whispering and pointing at Akeztu as he kind of stumbles through the night.
Uh-oh.
If I notice that, I'm gonna say, hey, we're supposed to be showing our badassery. Sit it up a little bit. I like kind of give him an elbow and like
Carry like the
And I'll
giant
hand- I'll
axe
hand-
as a lumberjack.
I'll hand him my flask. Maybe it'll look like we're drinking or something like that.
And then
You mean good
Tatia,
stuff?
Tatia would say something really loudly to make sure people heard it about, hey, still feeling it from all those ladies last night, right?
Right.
Yes. Squid person gives all the best
Make
with all the tentacles.
Eating a
Make a
banana
bluff
would
check.
help with that.
I believe the Wraith was a male.
That's right. You just see several people kind of point and talk to each other and then wander off into the darkness. Down
Do we
various
notice
alleys.
anything about them that would help us remember what they look like later?
There's at least one of them that's a smiler. Clearly, what they're doing is they're heading back to report that Akeztu is somehow less than optimal at this point.
Okay.
So
So we
Now
visibly go to the Steelhawks to sleep, but then we sneak out and go somewhere else.
well, no, we just need to
We've
disguise
noticed that
Buligup and his Keztu as each other, so they'll attack the wrong one.
Yeah.
What?
We
I don't wanna
disguise you as a
get attacked.
Keztu, and a Keztu is you, so that when they try and attack the weak one, they're attacking you.
I think it's more about where we're staying. If they think we're weak, they're going to raid where we sleep. That's what I'm worried about. That now we're seen as a threat, and they're just going to come and wipe us out, like when we're
They
vulnerable.
can fucking try.
Well, let's finish this discussion when we are at our final destination to take us out of the open. They only know what direction we're going and they're already wandered off. They don't see where we are right now. So let's get to where we're going. Could I potentially use a disguise to make myself unrecognizable until we get to our final location?
Do you have any kind of skill in that?
I do. Why don't I just hang back and do that?
I have all those different outfits. I have my garment
I mean,
sleeve.
the problem. Oh yeah, you can change clothes pretty easily. You have a sleeve of many garments or whatever it is. That's pretty nice. That changes your actual outfit.
Yeah.
It doesn't change what you look like. It's you
Exactly.
still wearing different clothes. But I mean, the problem
figured
is
I
the
might be
party
able to
itself.
Myself out if I throw on a different outfit, like use that real quickly to change.
Right.
And
The The problem you've got is the party itself consists of a frog man, a gigantic ugly man, a robot man, and a guy who gives off
Android.
wisps of shadow.
And a lady with a tiger.
And a lady with... Yeah, it's going to be difficult to hide the party as anything other than the party.
Why would we want to hide?
Right? You're badass, damn it.
What we would want to do is to lay a trap then.
All right. So should we get to Final Destination and talk some more? Or do we want to stand right here and talk because we just got caught?
Well, I'll fade back. I'll fade back, and I'll use my disguise ability to appear like a
Basically, kind of like disappear into the crowd.
like a basic human, and disappear in the crowd wearing like normal peasant clothes. And I'm going to try to go after that Smiler at not a brisk pace because I don't want to. Oh, look at that guy running in the crowd! It'll draw attention to myself. But I'm going to try to head him off before he reports back.
Okay.
There was more than one.
I have more than one stabby.
Right, but they didn't all go in the same direction.
All right, that's fine. I'll.
So do we want to finish going or do we want to talk more details here? Because we think it would be safer one way or the other.
I believe.
Do we want to take a vote on it? Who wants to continue this conversation here and who wants to continue this conversation where we may or may not be posting up camp tonight?
I am walking to my bed.
I think we should go to the Hawk Palace.
Out in the open is safer because there are less ears. If we are at the Hawk Palace, then we don't know who in there is a real ally or one that wants to garner favor with the Lords.
What is more damaging to us right now? To be seen or to be potentially spied on?
Well,
No,
eventually, we
Slash.
have to rest, right? Like, we don't have a choice for that.
We really need to. So I think we should do the one thing that gets us closer to the rest for right now and then come up with a plan for something that we might do. Like maybe we leave or maybe we set up a guard where, but let's.
I thought you said that. I thought you said the plan. I thought you asked the question about discussing our next move, and that's all I was meaning.
Kinda.
Out in the open. I'm not talking about going to sleep. If we go to sleep or we go to the Hawk Palace, set up camp, and then discuss this, I don't trust the Steelhawks. Someone here might rat us out. It'll be easier to hear us. It'll be easier to hear us inside as opposed to walking out in the middle of, there's nobody around us. Everyone's giving us a wide berth. Like we can talk freely here out in the open and not have anyone really actually know what we're saying. Just stealth 101. Sometimes hiding in plain sight's the best course of action. To discuss our next move. However, what do we want to do to sleep? That's a very valid point. I don't know.
Well, where do we want to be right here at this exact moment in discussing and in thinking that our next move is to make a plan? Should we do that here or should we do that when we get to cover? Who wants to take a vote on it and what do you vote on?
I vote we proceed to Hawk Palace and discuss further.
All right.
Also everybody drinks.
All right.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. I say that we go to Hawk Palace.
That includes chat.
I say we go to Hawk Palace and stay there for a bit. If you want to chat, we can. But then after we're there for a bit, any lookouts, I say that we leave there and go to our first hangout in that abandoned room that we had when we were scoping this place.
Tatia then says, all right, let's get our asses out here and get back to Hawk Palace.
Okay.
Kiernan, what do you mean, like abandoned room?
So when we first got here, we were scoping out Hawk Palace to find out our method of attack. Remember? And then we found an abandoned room.
Oh, gotcha.
Stayed like 2 nights in, and then we found another abandoned room to scope out the Smiler's place. I'm saying we just go back to that first abandoned room because they might not think to look there for us. I think somebody's coming for us. That's what I would do.
Glad we spent 20 minutes deciding to go to the same place we were already going.
So let's do it.
You arrive at Hawk Palace. You take up your room. Are you setting watches this evening?
Well, can we get healed before we sleep? So we have
she has
some
to
type
get. She has to get. Oh, you
Gotta
mean like
set
hit
that
points?
up
Not
overnight, so
your
we'll do
constitution, but
tomorrow.
any actual damage we can get healed. But
Yeah, like how would be my hit points? My constitution was 5 as a fighter. Maximum.
You lost 9, right?
Yep.
So you're what? 18 hit points off your 18 hit points off your maximum.
yeah.
Okay, so I have 32.
Wow, you're almost down to me.
And stuff.
Con
Right?
drain sucks for a fighter.
Yes.
I mean,
Sucks
I
for
get
everybody.
pure moderate wounds.
Who needs healing though? Don't just throw spells around if they don't actually need them.
Yeah.
I think
Who actually needs healing?
I got hit, and Kestu got hit, right?
yeah, and Buligup got
There
hit
was
by
some-
for 1 point.
you guys got some
no.
healing. You did some healing last session.
I
I
did.
mean,
I don't
since
think I did.
we're okay, I will wait to see about divvying up that kind of stuff until we've decided that we're going to go to bed.
I am so French. Even my cat smokes cigarettes.
It's 40 is such a cute kitty.
All right, so I guess it's
Wow.
nighttime now, and we want to leave and go to our second hideout. Then
Yeah.
sleep there.
I'd like to go to the place that we originally went.
Excuse me.
I'd like to go to the place that we originally went to, that scoped out this place, so we have it within
Gotcha.
visual range, so we can see if it does get raided. You know,
Well,
see
I want
it,
to
see
roll
it.
perception again, see if we see the smilers out there.
Hang on. What are you doing?
We're
You're
going to
settling
the
in for the
abandoned.
night, and then you're going to leave where you were, which is patrolled by a gang and protected as a headquarters, stumble across a marketplace, and attempt to hide in a building on the opposite side.
That
It
used
is
to be abandoned.
unprotected in every way.
Yes, apparently
And
that is our.
everybody's already got
That is
like eyes on us right now because we just kind of kicked some ass.
I think I will stay here instead.
Okay, I was trying to. It's a good point. We're not all necessarily going to be able to sneak. It's just my nature to get out
Right.
of where we're known.
Let's be honest. The rest of the party are not going to be sneaking.
No.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's just bed down for the night then. Plus,
I-
they'll give us an early warning system.
I could put up rope tricks so that there's a safe place for the wounded people to sleep inside the room we're in.
Chew.
That'd be good.
Might be a good way to escape if we have to, but I'd like to be in that room
Doesn't-
area.
I mean,
Okay.
rope trick's hilarious to me.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Just stay in the
You
night.
casting rope trick or not?
I guess not. If nobody's gonna.
Who is wounded and needs healing?
I am wounded. I have.
Ikestu is.
I will touch you.
How wounded are you?
I'm missing 11 hit points. Yeah, I'm missing 11 hit points.
Who
But you
wants me
will-
to touch them in their special place?
You will heal 5 of those automatically with a good night's
And you
sleep.
rest.
Yeah.
So I'll be
I
missing
ambush
6.
Yes.
I
That's
have.
assuming I don't ambush you in the night.
All right.
So I have a -4, so that would be 2 hit points per level. So I'm 10 off my max, so I'd be 28. I guess I'm not all that hurt then. I just need 6 hit points, so I'm almost. Yeah, Cure Light would be all I would need because then I heal my level.
Yep.
Or
Your level.
Correct.
oh wow,
Tatia
okay.
says, all right, I'm going to do it. Cure light wounds for Kiernan.
Thank you.
What is
Whoa,
that?
10 points.
that's Cure
Wow.
Light. You're amazing.
She's good at healing.
Thank you very much.
Kiss on the back of the hand for
She
that.
gets
Thank
her
you, my dear.
charisma bonus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, she adds her charisma to it.
Oh, that's sick. That's an amazing. Is that a feat?
No. So
Oh,
it's
standard. It's a casting bonus. It's a caster's bonus.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Make a
then
very good actual healing character.
That's why
you
if I
went
make
that.
her a sexy headband, it'll even do better.
Sexy headband of
the only one that
charisma.
really needs anything, right? Is that what I see?
Kes2 is wounded, I think. Said,
9 points, I
But
think you said.
but not a lot.
I'm missing 11 is what I'm
11,
missing.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I could try.
I
Not-
should probably just cure light wounds. Is probably all I need.
Because you'll heal 6
Oh my
or
god.
5.
Watch it come out as like 1 HP for you. Okay. Oh, first it.
I think you do a minimum of 6
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
your charisma. So
Yeah, you can't not get him to where he needs to be.
Oh, watch me.
12.
That's good.
Woo!
Nice.
You see that? I talk shit to myself and I do that.
As
It's just
she, as she,
strategy. I'm like, you stupid bitch, you can do this. Okay.
All right, so I'm at full hit points then
Wow.
for 32.
So
Nice
I will,
work.
I will
Now,
make
I-
whole one of the double barrel pistols and start studying spells out of Maro's book.
Okay, what are you studying? Anything specific, or are you just sitting there?
I'll try and learn something. I just got to figure out what she's got that I can.
Okay. Okay, do you have time to do it this evening?
I need 2 hours to do
Bad.
to study my spells.
Yeah,
So I could do a couple of first level ones.
that's cool. Okay. Oh yeah, because you don't barely sleep, right? So you're up at night
Right.
learning magic.
I need my
are
2
you
hours.
studying-
with my
You're so much better than the rest of us.
Well, no, he's got a magical ring that keeps him awake and fed and all of that stuff.
Because you're so much, a magic ring of Adderall.
Basically, right. It's a ring of sustenance. It is essentially the same thing.
I'm so productive.
He's incredibly productive because he has more time than everyone else.
There you go.
Oh, are you setting watches this evening? You're
Yes.
In a room,
yeah.
You're in a room that used to be an old storeroom with a single door. It has cots to sleep in. And if you're setting watches, what are they?
Does it have a window, or just the one entrance?
There is a window, but it's very small. It
I
overlooks
would
the marketplace. and the
I
gate.
did not take much damage. I would take the first watch.
I would like to take a watch when Alexander is, because if he, assuming he permits, I want to thumb through some of his books and I want to bolster my knowledge arcana.
Oh, interesting.
Tatia says, I do not mind waking up early, so I would be happy to do a later / very early watch.
Like ninth watch.
Yeah.
I'll do a third watch.
Third watch. How many watches are you having?
3, 4.
I mean, how many is it generally? Is it 2 or 3?
Normally you'd have at least 3.
Yeah, normally it's
Otherwise,
Tatia says,
otherwise
what does it matter? If we all do at least one, then we get to sleep for quite a bit of time. And you're going to wake up at least that much anyways.
casters need a specific amount of rest before they're able to replenish their spells.
So how many hours are we, is that for each of us then?
I mean, technically, it's a full 8 hours rest for a caster, but generally there's a bit of hand waving.
So then that
as well.
might be a little more difficult than if we're just doing this, because we would then have to be asleep for a longer period of time.
Sure, which is why Alexander's ring's so amazing, because he gets a full night's sleep for 2 hours sleep.
Nice. So then do we want to let Alexander do the watching for a lot of it and the rest of us sleep? And then
Have you ever seen
let's use that to our freaking advantage.
If-
Let Alexander do the watch. I'm sure that he wouldn't, I mean, his character is a robot. That's efficient. It would make sense to him.
Android.
however,
Android, sorry.
however, if his nose is in his book, in addition to Alexander's abysmal perception score, do you really want him? You want our lives and our bunks relying on him? I don't know.
It is not a abysmal score.
He's like very not perceptive. Well, then I guess he does need a little bit of backup / a lot of bit of backup.
I'm
Nicodemus.
not bad at perception. I'm just bad at rolling perception.
Right? You're terrible at rolling.
Like Kestu is really good against porculi.
We could just get you a picture that
rolling,
says
it's-
20 on it, and you could put it up on the camera every time that we tell you to roll, and you're like, I get 20.
I believe in myself. Today I'll roll a natural 20.
I mean, if you want me to, I will say watch with Alexander.
Let's split it up into
All
three.
right.
I'll do the latest one. Timothy, you do the middle one. Nick, he'll do the first. Sorry. Buligup. And he casts.
Buligup.
Yeah, that's fine.
The
Cool.
tiger can stay with me as well if he wants to watch.
What's he gonna watch?
Tatia says, Buligup, man, you do a very good job of freaking everybody the fuck out.
All right, there we go. How we have our watches set up.
I gotcha. Making some rolls for you.
So I guess we put off the traditional celebratory drinking and fornication until people are healed.
I mean, you could do it anyway, but nobody's really going to enjoy it, right? Kestu's just going to be moaning that his back's sore. And
I mean, when
No.
I'm involved, they usually don't enjoy it anyway. So
All right, well, let's go to bed.
they've just got to endure it. Is that what
Homina,
we're saying?
homina.
Are we ready for the 90 nights?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was.
who was on second watch?
Was that me?
It has to.
It has to. Okay.
I'm assuming you, but I'm assuming you sleep for 2 hours and then you're awake.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of the time you're on backup because you have shitty perception.
The only watch you're missing is the first half of the first watch, or a bit of the first watch.
Yeah. But I am studying spells for part of it.
Yeah.
So you can have a negative. So Kestu and Alexander can make me perception checks.
28.
Holy shit! I take back what I said about bad perception.
Pretty funny.
Natural 20.
Probably second only to mine.
Yeah. Kestu is busy not paying attention. Alexander hears something and looks out of the front window over the courtyard and the marketplace. Across the opposite side at the gate, there seems to be a number of Kellids coming into the city. Have some kind of altercation with the Steelhawks, but eventually they let them pass. They look like they're heading up to the old Smiler's base.
More reinforcements for the Kellids, or Kellids that are against the other Kellids. Meat brain barbarians.
Meat-brain barbarians.
Doesn't sound like it's worth waking everybody up for then.
did you,
It just happens.
Hal? Did you roll on the random encounter table and it rolled a tribe of
No.
Kellids again?
That would be funny, wouldn't it?
That would be great. Like you
That's
get
good, Nick.
That's all I can get. That's all we ever roll. This place is just rammed. You open the door and they just tumble out.
I wonder what the Lords of Rust are doing because all these fucking barbarians are coming in.
Well, normally the barbarians wouldn't come anywhere near this place.
Which is
Ordinarily, they'd stay the hell out. They don't mind cities, but this kind of place is not really their bag.
That's not real civilization, right?
right, which is an unusual tribe where it'd be interesting to meet their leader, perhaps, because he might have a more enlightened view on technology.
Well, that and one of our party created a World of Warcraft spawns point for Kellids at our tavern, I might add.
no, hold on. That's not true.
No, that was
Oh, no, he
Hexed
did
people
the
that
robot,
did that
yes.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the
our
Hexed
party
people did
made a giant golem that almost TPK'd us.
Yes.
And killed the town. That's fair.
But,
I
but,
think
none
for
of-
the
but that's player knowledge, not character knowledge.
All
if
right.
it was character knowledge, you would not still be around.
So after my watch, I go back to sleep, Hal.
Good. Good. Well done, Tim. The rest of the night passes uneventfully, and you awake in the morning.
Do I get my 1 hit point back?
You do.
Woo!
Yeah.
That was a close one.
32. Okay, I successfully learned 2 new spells.
What did
Or
you
Get
learn?
them into my book.
What'd you Scribe.
Sculpt corpse and restore corpse.
Seriously, you learnt sculpt corpse?
Yes. Well, I didn't.
Jesus.
I'm not memorizing it. I'm putting it in my book.
Right. You dedicated pages to that.
A page. It's only a first level
Very,
spell.
very
Oh, it's
dirty
only a-
pages.
It's a nasty looking page. It's got diagrams and his arms up there and
Well, I had the option of
He's got the
sculpt corpse,
fucking-
restore corpse, decompose corpse, and detect metal. And detect metal is
Maro-
just going to light up this whole place.
So
there's
let me-
metal everywhere.
Let me get this straight. So I just looked up this sculpt corpse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't, I mean, I've read like just the surface of it. So you can take a dead body
And make it look like somebody else
and make it look like somebody else,
permanently.
animate it.
No.
So you just make a dead thing.
Yes, just not with that spell.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Could
could then.
If you wanted to
You
just
could,
do
yes.
a murder, you could be like, I want this to look like Barney. Boop. And there you go. You got a purple dinosaur.
Yeah. So if somebody kills a Ketsu in the night, I can make the body look like they killed somebody else.
Ah, that's interesting.
Handy.
Okay, cool.
And to restore corpse, I can take a skeletal body and re-inflesh them so they look like they're fresh dead.
Now, Tatia has an understanding of this and has decided she may be thinking she needs a trademark for everybody she killed.
Jeez.
That's
So
It's
I have a
insurance
question.
fraud. The spell.
Yeah, and
There
that's
we go.
what
No, he hasn't.
Wizard Mark is great for that too.
Has Tim frozen while admiring his crotch?
same version of Britney's.
Yes. I'm
That
amazed
could
by
be our
it.
signature. We could turn all our
Really?
enemy corpses.
version.
Is it a full moon and you can see it?
Yes.
You looked like you were frozen staring at your dick, dude.
That's pretty
He
funny.
wasn't.
That's what I say. I'm sure he is. I'm guessing either his cell phone's down there or he's got his penis out and no trousers on.
Yeah, see?
Uh,
Why
Or
not both?
he's sending dick pics to people, just unsolicited random numbers.
Oh, my phone hasn't buzzed.
What's that?
So,
So we go to see Dinvaya now?
Dinvaya.
it'll be end of book 6 by the time he gets her fucking name right.
Linvala.
Just call her
Dinvaya.
Titty
Yeah,
Tim.
I know her
Dinvaya.
name. I'm saying it, and then the second that I say it, I'm like, Din the Bugagabagalam.
But you have the
Not a
Slavic
difficult
accent,
one.
so that's
Madam
all good.
Lanale.
Yeah. So we go to Dinvaya. Dinvaya.
You could just call it the Cleric of Bry, and everyone would know what you meant.
But we wouldn't even get that right.
Should we
So-
bring her some breakfast or something?
Going back to our sculpt corpse conversation, that might be a good thing that if we have like these dead smilers or people that are tailing us, we could use that spell to make them look like Hellscrag and just leave dead Hellscrags all around town. It'll look like to some ignorant people that A, we killed Hellscrag, but it'll also piss off Hellscrag and he'll want to come. She'll want to come
They're
and
mostly female.
yeah, she'll want to come and kick our ass by herself. My goal is to separate some of these Lords of Rust. We get in the arena and they're all there. We're going to be the floor. They're going to mop the floor with us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking assassination, targeted strikes, go after one at a time, like we've done with anyone listening.
Yes.
Like we did with the cleric, like we did with their necromancer. Now we need to start doing it with the other clerics and the healers and the other people that are in the group, right? So we talk about this on our happy journey to Dinvaya.
Ah! I'm not the only one.
I said it right. I
The
just wanted
cleric
to
of
say
bride.
a couple times.
She was
Yeah.
Cleric of Bri.
Told you.
Right.
All right, let's get this shit moving.
All right,
let's go. Let's go.
Let's get this shit moving.
Hopefully we
Yes.
don't see a
Yes,
bunch
female
of
Kim, let's do it.
hopefully we don't see a bunch of smoke coming from her glare.
You
I think
arrive
people are
at
more scared of her.
Dinvaya's. You arrive at the Clockwork Temple. Dinvaya is inside.
Ding dong.
Hey, good morning.
Calling.
If,
I'm moping
you would
in.
come this way. You look sick there, lad. It's not good.
He's
If you
green.
come that way,
he,
you would.
he reminds me of Yoda in episode 2 after he fought Dooku. And he's like
He's,
jumping
like,
around.
going in.
All of a sudden, then he forces over his.
Okay.
He's like all hunched over. You're like Yoda. So there you go. So
Crappy
you're,
Yoda.
you're like totally playing this up. Like, I'm so hurt.
Well, I mean, like, does that if it happens when your constitution is a 5?
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. It's totally like your life force has been drained, so you're kind of not yourself. You know.
You're more susceptible to disease. You heal less well. You get fatigued faster.
I feel my life force has been drained as well. Could I get a cup of coffee? Maybe an espresso if you have it.
Story.
Just
True
because
story.
it's the morning, isn't it?
Indeed.
I feel like that every morning.
The
So I
somatic
follow
component-
the.
The somatic component for restoration is to grab your junk and have you turn your head and cough. What?
So yeah, I follow to the cleric of Bri. I'm using my axe as a walking cane.
Okay, that's difficult because it's huge.
Oh,
I can still lift it.
as we're leaving, can I ask you what the deal was with the Kellids last night?
You're asking.
Well, I'd like to ask somebody in Steelhawks before as we're heading out.
Okay. One of the Steelhawks said that they saw them. They came through the gate. Apparently, they were coming to see Thrud and offer their fealty to him and potentially move into his new domain.
Reinforcements.
My cousin
Steel
Dayan
hooks.
from the Iron Hills. Like, what the hell's
Right.
going on here?
So,
Mighty Tributary.
according to this table, a constitution of 5 means you bruise very easily and can be knocked out by a light punch.
Yeah.
Tatia looks over at Ikestu and goes, "Hey,
Punch.
Dinvaya, you want to see something cool?"
Oh.
And she just knocks him real quick.
So I just want to
So,
point
Tim-
out that
Tim, for reference, your constitution is less than a toad or a hedgehog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
that's rough.
I used to beat up Wimpy Toad back in the swamps.
He's Aunt May from the comics,
Yeah.
not
Right.
from the MCU.
Spider-Man.
I think Tatia doing this to Ikestu, as well as her desire for signature spells for killing, she might be hanging out with Kiernan a little too much. Shifting to from chaotic good down to chaotic neutral a bit, I think. That's awesome. Like Vivian from the Young Ones. I know, let's play Murder in the Dark. Flick the switch off.
So the day isn't getting any shorter here. Let's get going. I've
Yeah,
got
so
all day for you people.
I've already marked the gold off of the party loots.
Thank you very kindly, sir. She stores it in a room. Okay.
I noticed.
She begins to cast her spell. Takes a little minute. It's not like a standard action. It actually takes 3 rounds to cast this spell.
Oh wow.
Yes.
And then
So
she
in the
touches
meantime, while we're all
Ikestu.
hanging out because we don't want to put any pressure on the master while she's doing her thing.
Oh, you shouldn't. Then she touches Ikestu and his ability damage is healed.
Yeah.
Woo!
Awesome.
Sweet.
You notice that while she's doing it, 100 gold pieces of diamond dust vanish.
Ooh. I will.
What's that gate for?
What?
What's that gate for?
Oh,
the
this
chair.
is my chair.
Oh, okay. I always
It
thought it
does
was a
kind of
gate.
look like a baby gate from the camera.
Or a loom.
Nope, definitely a chair, not a gate that I'm using to hold people captive. That would be crazy.
I'm going to pay special attention to her spell casting since I need to learn to imitate more cleric spells.
Right? Okay. She just calls on Bry a lot, and it sounds like a prayer of healing
You log
for
in.
this unfortunate soul, etc., etc. And then she does the same for Kiernan.
Well, I thank her profusely.
Excellent. I can't wait to try that when my spell knowledge grows a little bit more.
It's a thrill aiding the careless.
I hang out with this group. I need such skills often.
Fortune favors the bold.
Yes, it does indeed, once they've got a cleric with them, but you guys do not. I would suggest you think about being more careful in future. With this draining business, you can be in a sorry state for a while.
Indeed.
Hey, we're hoping not to run into any more captains of crashed ships in Scrapple. That's all.
So when you get healed con, does that heal the hit points you were missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it restores your maximum and then whatever else the difference was. I mean, if I was
Gotcha.
a mean GM, I would say no, but yes, it does actually do that.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. I was asking.
But for the record, it does heal it, but Hal is still a mean GM. Just be clear, you know.
I was able to fix his wisdom damage before, but drain is beyond me.
So I give the
Currently.
cleric of Bry a nod, as a thank you, like a nod towards her.
Okay. Thank you, lad. That's very kind. I'm sorry I couldn't do anything about your face.
She can't see my face. Like I have a full plate armor on.
Really? You have a full helmet on all the time, even when you're talking to people.
Really? Are we doing this?
You
I'm
should
taking my
just
helmet off.
say-
No.
Ooh, I drink, apparently.
Ooh.
Buy a drink. Chin chin.
He's logged in for-
I think I understand the mixes.
I mean, I'm just saying. Do you wear your helmet literally all the time? Are you like the mountain in Game of Thrones?
I'm not sure. Like, would I be taking my helmet while we're? Because I'm not sure how she's gonna react to my face, right?
Well,
She knows
you're
you're afraid.
already you're 7 foot something, and there's clearly something going on. Plus, this is a fantasy world. She's not going to run and hide. She's
Well, I
a
wasn't
cleric.
Like I wasn't sure if she was like gonna freak out.
She's a cleric. She's seen a prolapsed asshole. Your face is nothing.
Okay, 'cause I wasn't sure if she had something against the qlippoth-spawn.
Qlippoth.
Qlippoth
people that have
spawn.
I
met
mean,
them
she definitely may have something against Qlippoth because they're awful.
Right.
I mean,
And
who
she
knows?
probably regrets what they did to your ancestors, but you know.
Right? Who knows what appendage your Qlippoth ancestor poked into somebody? Oh, look! Somebody's bottoming you up for the health of your penis. Oh, it's spending his points on you thing. You have to drink your drink.
Water.
I believe that Bill's trying to build you some new stones.
I asked Baldric for things incredibly strong ale.
Is that what you're
Alright,
actually
so-
drinking?
Is that what you got?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Holy shit.
as far as you know.
So,
As you know.
do we want to head
I don't
over
have
to the
comedy
receiver
breast
right
and
now?
stuff at the moment, but
Well, I think we want to try to. Yeah, I think so, but we want to try to. There's so many eyes on us. I think that if once we go down that alleyway, it'll be like no one's going to follow us down there, so we'll be essentially hidden, right?
we could check in on the Kellids since they got reinforcements. They are of interest again.
I had thought of that to like treat with them, you know, kind of like say, hey, we cleared this place out, and you know, but that's they worship and respect strength. I think this is a Tatia and Nemescu conversation. Buligup is going to be laughed at, even though he's a mighty fighter. His size is just going to be comical. I'm not intimidating from a bone perspective.
There is more to strength than just muscles.
True, but that's not what they think. So it's what they think that matters, not what we think.
Well, then I will
reality
show
is.
them otherwise.
Right.
Possibly,
The typical
but-
Kellids aren't favorable to my kind, but
Well, disguise. You haven't had a disguise, right?
yes.
Let me get some more tea. Be right back.
You can disguise yourself as a teetotaling person that keeps leaving the game.
I guess
Nice.
since Kiernan suggests that they would be more favorable to Ikestu or Tatia, I will try to make my clothes and appearance more like Tatia's.
So you're going to look like a Varisian.
Yeah. Sure.
Are you going to look like a Varisian female?
I think I can
Probably.
use my. I have a pretty
Okay.
decent disguise skill. I think I will help him. No, let's do this. And I mean, if you want to be female, that's fine. But I'm not gonna gender profile you. But I think that we want to do this. Let's broaden the shoulders. Let's make the bigger muscles. I'll have him look like the MMA fighter that starred in The Mandalorian. I can't remember her name.
Well, I don't know how much
Really
control
pretty
I have
chick.
since I can't duplicate specific people.
Well, I know, but I mean,
I can
I'm
choose a
using
theme.
disguise to get you to look like someone like that. It doesn't have to be that exact actress, obviously. It's just I'm saying like where
But I thought I should look
people's
like,
theater of the mind, you know.
I thought I should look close to Tatia because you said they would react favorably to Tatia.
Well, she's very charismatic. Like her character.
Size and strength.
I'm just gonna be over here looking at pictures of Gina Carano now. So
There you go.
The
That's
fact
what
that
the second
she's
monitor is
the fact
for.
that she's got like a badass tiger following her and she's a big fighter and you know all that kind of stuff is gonna go a long way. But again, size and strength. So just make you bigger, stronger, whatever. That's how we'll play that. You know, I got a
All
decent
right.
disguise skill, so
I will try and tweak my appearance as much to what Kiernan suggests.
Okay. Then suggests you look like a muscular human type person.
yep.
Poof.
You guys want to go there, or it sounds like we are.
Got like a tiny head and like this huge, yeah, you got all of that.
Yeah.
Roided out completely.
Now you're thinking Umbrella Academy, or what is it?
That's
Which,
right.
by the way, is really cool. I like that
Very cool.
show. I finished the
Hey,
second season just the other day.
There's a board game on Kickstarter right now for it.
Yes.
I knew nothing about it before I started watching the show, and I was like, "This is really a Dark Horse thing." I had no idea.
I'm sorry. What I wasn't. I was looking at pictures of Gina Carano. What are you
Umbrella
talking about?
Academy.
Oh yes, very good. I'm not joking. I got a thing for tough chicks.
Why is
Really?
your why is your arm vibrating so quick? Oh wait, never mind.
That was good timing. Good timing.
So we're gonna go see the Kellids. Is that what we're gonna go do?
Sounds like
Okay.
You head towards the Kellid headquarters. There are 8 guards outside.
Holy
Ooh,
fuck! There was 2
better
the
than the
other
2
day.
before. They got more
Don't-
members.
Told you we should have struck while the iron was hot, but okay, we lost our tavern.
Well,
But
People are coming and going from the building constantly, mostly women, but also some children and some men
Oh wow!
heading off into scrap wall and doing whatever they're doing. There's a
Um,
large flag hanging over the front door.
Is it 2 serpents over a black sun and a black moon?
Sure,
like this.
coming together. Yes.
That's amazing. I'm actually going to try, and it's either the Steelhawks or somebody. I'm going to try to get a keg of ale, a whole barrel.
Okay.
So we just bring it as like an offering. I don't know how much that'll cost, like 15
Um,
gold or something, or
Sure.
15 gold, little man. Put that shit in my hand.
yeah, I like it.
Money doesn't show it.
What you drinking, Wade? It's an elephant.
Elephant wine.
1,000 lives.
Ooh.
Huh. Is it good?
Yeah, it's like cheap wine, but it's good wine. 1,000 lives, 1,000 memories, many of which are complemented by an enjoyable glass of wine. This wine is inspired by the saying, "An elephant never forgets." There
Nice.
are
Except after a bottle of that wine.
experienced in every person's life. This wine is dedicated to those memories.
Oh my god.
That's a great reading. Bravo.
I'm gonna say, oh yeah. I have some great video of Whit acting.
Was this the dental chair thing?
Oh my god!
Yes.
I'm so embarrassed that exists.
I know, because they rolled it out recently and people still like it.
Well, yeah, they do, because it's another terrible video.
It's better than another terrible lecture about teeth.
This is also true.
It was a hardcore smoker in that video. Plus, also, she had some kind of stroke.
In real life, my husband has been like, babe, if you ever smoke cigarettes, ever buy a pack of cigarettes, if you ever buy a pack of cigarettes, I will divorce you. I was like, whoa. I was like, you're not serious. And he's like, I'm going to be an oncologist one day. Do you know how stupid it would look if you died? Because you were a smoker? No. And I was like, okay.
Hi, I'm Emmett. I'm Evan's wife.
I guess I get it. Maybe.
She just has to barter for them now since she's not allowed to buy them.
That's right. She has to trade her physicality for the cigarettes.
That's right.
That's right. I hoe myself out for cigarettes.
Get the jewel pods, man. The jewel pods.
It's like on Saved by the Bell when Gal was addicted
I'm not
to
spending any
caffeine
real
pills.
money. It doesn't count.
The electric cigarette. She's calling on Thor. Hit me.
I mean, we've all sucked a dick for a Lucy before.
I don't recall that. I don't think that was on my plan.
So we at the Kellids Palace?
Speaking of having to perform acts with our mouths after the end of this session.
Who run Throd Town?
Yeah, we have a.
There are 8 Kellids stood outside. They all seem to have big, huge muscles, tiny loincloths, and enormous weapons.
Yeah, so which is why I wanted to bring the drink as an offering, and then we can treat with them and just ask for an audience for the. I think we know. The Steelhawks told us who it was that they were looking to.
Was it
Thrud? Yeah.
Thrud. Well, they told us about it was King Thrud's place when we went there the first night.
So I think that we ask for that, and maybe Ikestu or Tatia could do the talking, and I'll just be the grunt bringing in the barrel with Buligup's help or whatever.
Hold! Stay there. What you want?
Tatia says, we would like to present a gift. Bring in a little bit of booze. Would you like to partake?
No. We guard today. No drink while guarding. Body is temple.
I understand. Well, then you can have whatever is left over tomorrow morning. We let inside.
We said this is for Thrud.
What God is
we are the party that cleared out this area that you now inhabit, and we wish to create an alliance and hopefully a mutual friendship by bearing gifts.
This place empty, filled with bodies when we got here. We cleaned this place.
Bodies created by us.
For days.
Tatia
we did make quite a
we
mess.
were very clean.
Tatia says, thank you for cleaning all of the filth away. And we just want to bring in something to christen the place.
Yes.
Don't you need that?
What do you think the king will say if he knows that his guards turn back good drink?
King, he drinks sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, then maybe we should bring back something more appropriate. What would the king like?
I don't know. You have to ask him. You want to talk him?
I do. May we go inside?
Yes.
Thank you.
Come through.
All right. Everybody follow me.
So, 2 guards walk in front of you and 2 walk behind as they lead you through.
I will keep an eye out for structural changes they have made besides just general cleansing.
They've torn out all of the furniture in the entrance area and they're using it as a small training camp where they're sparring with each other. Pass through that area and into the back where there was those weird bottles. All of that is gone. There's bedding in the double beds. Bunk beds. Yes.
How closely are the guards to us?
Walking behind.
I'm
socially distancing.
No, I'm just wondering, like, if they're really close to us, I want to like slyly switch to like a shorthanded.
Oh yeah, you probably want to be on short heft if that's the key.
Okay.
I mean, all you need to do is slide your hand down your glaive.
Yeah, I just like as they're close to us. I mean, I'm not like ready to. I'm not like, yeah, let's fuck them up. But like, just in
you're
case.
just wary.
Yeah.
So did he make his throne room in?
How many? Do we see a lot of Kellids as we're walking through?
Yeah, you see a bunch. There's a lot of children in here. There's a lot of old people in here, as well as Kellid warriors, both male and female.
Is there anything unusual like tech or something they've got?
It seems like they've torn all of that out. All of those tanks are gone. It's just a room now. It seems to have normal beds in it, like bunk beds in it. You eventually get to what was that lab where you were attacked by the corpses with the drills.
Rust risen.
Yes, and that's all been torn apart as well. And there is a large fire in the middle of it. And you look up and you see a hole that's been basically drilled out, torn out of the ceiling to let the fire out.
It's a high-tech mead hall right now.
In a large chair is a huge man. His head looks super tiny.
It's like Mario, like the Mario movie.
Wow, I haven't
watched that
since I was little bit.
I was a kid when I saw that.
Super Mario Brothers, one of the best video game adaptation films.
So bad.
I mean, that's the only thing I really remember from that, but I watched it when I was a kid.
Hold on, Hal. Let's look at this. It has Dennis Hopper.
John
It has Mojo Nixon.
Yep.
And it has Bob Hoskins.
Oh, Bob Hoskins. How could it be bad?
Exactly.
I mean, then let's look at every other movie that has good actors that are desperate for money. I mean, like Mortal Kombat or the Street Fighter movies.
Jaws the Revenge, starring Michael Caine.
All of that.
Jeremy Irons. Look at Jeremy Irons. Amazing.
Hey, did you watch Zardoz yet? Wait.
No.
On your list, wait.
I'm going to go get a piece of paper right now, and I'm going to write it down, and I will do it tomorrow.
Okay, Evan, if you're there, she has to watch Zardoz.
Connery film.
I can send you a DVD if need be.
And he went to the gym, which is where I probably should be because I gained way too much weight staying at
Evan goes to the gym.
Evan's hooking for cigarette money. That's what he's doing.
Evan goes to the gym.
That's my thing. That's not your thing.
Yeah, you can't take my idea.
Wait, but Evan only has one muscle.
I'm gonna watch his brain. Okay, Stardust
No, Zardoz.
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 I'm going to throw out you'd probably like Stardust better.
But I did like Stardust. It was really cute. That's why I was like, hold on a second. I have seen this. Zardoz. So Z-A-R-D.
O-Z.
O-Z.
Or O-Z, as Hal would say.
Yes, see, that's the difference. See how nice, how much easier it is if it's a Z instead of a Z. It sounds like it's like a
Zulu if you're in the army, right?
Finding Hal.
No.
It's
Robot doggy.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding. I know what they are.
Zulu, Alpha, Romeo, Delta, Oscar, Zulu.
I remember freshening up on it because that's how you say things when you're in the airplane. And when Leah was in the air and trying to remember how to not crash a plane into the ground, she was also having to communicate in like radio speak about where she was going. And I was like, oh my God, this sounds so intimidating. I might cry a little on the inside the first couple of times I did that.
So Hal, so we've been talking thread.
Hi Tim, how's it going? So around him there are a lot of Kellids just kind of coming and going. He occasionally kind of waves a hand and one of them brings him something. He'll have a word with a couple of there's like two other Kellids wearing robes stood either side of him.
Besides having a tiny head, does he look at all unusual?
Yes. For a Kellid, what you know is they wouldn't normally have a cybernetic arm.
Why not?
Because
They
they
hate
do not like
technology.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
cyber arm. Nice.
Has a cybernetic arm.
What does it do? What does it look like it does?
It looks like a silver arm attached to his shoulder.
Okay, so not like an arm gun.
No, it could have an implanted weapon, but it
It could have a gun inside it. You wouldn't know until he shot you.
Ah.
I basically wheel that barrel in front of Tatia and Akeztu and kind of like clunk and then kind of like bow and back up. And I'm going to look like placating, like I'm underling or something. But I'm also going to scout the room and get ready to quick draw my weapons in case shit goes down.
There's probably about 25 Kellid warriors in here. Maybe about as many kind of general, just folks, children, the elderly, people you wouldn't want to murder.
So I call the elderly and children. I got those. Buligup, who do you want?
I want the big one with the robot arm.
I want information from him.
And Tim gets the other 24.
Very good.
Oh boy.
That is a fancy arm you have there.
He just looks at you. Hello. It's nice to have guests. Please have a seat.
It's the old lady again. Oh my god, that PTSD from D&D. Nick, you remember that?
Is that his voice?
Yes, it is that voice.
Okay. Well, no, you said he just looks at me and then you started talking like that, and I didn't know if it was someone else.
Yes, please have a seat. It's so nice to have you. Can I get you a drink? Tea, perhaps.
It's the fucking old ladies from D&D.
I would like an espresso.
Water of dead leaves would be lovely.
Yes, thank you for the gift. It looks like cheap beer. That's very nice. Thank you so much. How can I help you?
You're welcome. We were hoping to get a few moments to speak with you and see if there was another way we could say thank you even more.
Thank you for what exactly?
Well, whatever you're smoking, would you like more of it?
Tea out of a tiny cup.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were smoking a fatty because that's what it looks like.
Hey, I believe you've lived in Colorado for far too long.
I was gonna say, like, this sounded very like.
I'm not in Colorado anymore. It was only 3 years.
I mean, that's far too long, apparently.
Now
Yeah, but
I'm like in the
picturing
middle of a
68
fucking desert.
but I'm picturing 68-year-old upper class English countryside lady who's a socialite, and you apparently thought Tommy Chong. Or Dave's not here, he's out getting the stuff.
That was the thing. Immediately I was like, this is C3PO smoking opium. Like
I mean,
So,
to remind
so what's
people,
happening now?
we were going to try to treat with them just to say, hey, we were the ones that cleared this place out. We would like to strike up an alliance and essentially let them know that the Lords of Rust, if you get too big, they may move in and cause issues for your families here. And we want to ally ourselves with them and reach out to them.
I would just ask. So, Thrud, what brings you and your tribe to
Great question.
this shithole? Well, not shithole, but
Scrap
what brings you to Scrap Wall?
God damn it. You're so stupid. You too.
I am an outcast from the Kellids. It's a terrible situation.
I thought he was going to say language.
I will say in Hallett, is that due to your arm?
Yes. It was a terrible situation. We were investigating a ruin of some kind, and I don't know what came over me.
What did come over you? It looked like it was really sharp and heavy.
Some kind of mechanical beast dragged me away after knocking me unconscious, and I woke up like this.
Really? Tatia says, well, it seems like you got pretty lucky. What do you...
No, it is an accursed thing.
Have for experience to tell us about.
So,
if I was braver, I would cut it off. But then, what would I do? And it is so useful, so strong.
Is the beast? Is it still around?
Maybe.
Do you know where that ruins? Do you know where that ruins was at?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Of course, I remember. You wouldn't want to go there, though.
Why not?
It's in the Badlands. You wouldn't want to go there.
I like the bad.
We tend to solve problems.
No, you wouldn't like this place.
Okay.
So I look around. And it looks like, oh, you guys are moving in just nicely here.
Yes, it is. It's a pleasant place. Once we cleared out all of the technology, except for my arm, of course, we'll settle in here, and it'll be good.
Just be aware of the Lords of Rust. It seems like they're the ones that run this place.
I have talked to... What is the name? The Orc. Oh, the Orc. Nah, something. They seem fine. We're not going to bother them. We're not here for territory. We're just here to stay. Otherwise, we're going to get raided until I'm dead. And I can't take that. Just don't want it. People are here. Who did we just lose?
Never mind. Ignore the man behind the curtain. They hit the button by accident.
Here he is. He's coming back.
That's nice. It's nice to see that people, it's not just one person who accidentally
technology.
Roll20. Yes.
Pornography.
So
I was watching pornography.
And you tried to quit it, but unfortunately, in quitting the pornography, you actually closed out a Roll20.
So you said that the Lords of Rust will not bother them.
Damn it.
Because they're not here for territory.
I talked to them. I have no Nalakai, is it? Some kind of orc. He talked to us. He talked about his god and how big he is, and I don't hold with much of that, or technology. I'm very self-sufficient, but my people, I don't want them hurt because of my misgivings.
It seems more Kellids came into the town last night.
Yes.
So are you going to make Scrap Wall your permanent home? Are you guys going to be staying here for a while?
At the moment, I mean, we have made a roof, and our fires burn here, and we have dug some more tunnels through this place. It is good for us. The children like it. People are intimidated by us. Apparently, no one exercises here. I don't see why. It's a pretty disgusting place. I don't really want to go outside. So that's why.
Well, truth be told, neither do we. But
why we excavated the back door so we can go outside onto the wastes. Monsters.
That's what I was hoping to go and scout. Curses.
That Tatia says that sounds quite lovely. We would love to go see it. Would you mind showing us?
Look, you can see it. He points towards a metal archway in the wall.
Let's go visit.
It was once a secret door.
Let's go
They ripped off the secret door and built an archway. Where
they've been through that. If there was anything down that tunnel, there's nothing down there anymore.
A little part of my soul dies that they desecrated a secret entrance like that. Twitch is showing my icon instead of my video feed.
That's what I'm seeing on my computer too.
Yeah.
Should I reconnect?
You don't deserve no face. Sure, give it a shot.
I'll reconnect. Sorry.
Okay, well, I look at the party and.
What the hell was that?
She just had a lot to drink. That's what that is.
I thought she stepped on a dog's tail.
I never assume it's alcohol with wit.
Yes, and not all booze. I've had now one and like a third of a glass of wine, and then I also had a cup of coffee, and then I had a bubble water. So my kidneys are happy, and I have to pee.
I should bio break too.
Never assume it's alcohol with wit. It's just generally enthusiasm.
The bio breaks is not alcohol. The incessant giggling, that's the alcohol.
The incessant giggling is just the enthusiasm.
There you go. It's good.
So I look at the party and I don't think they're like. Looks like they're just gonna be here and they might just leave and like they're like Kellids are like nomads, right?
Yeah, generally, except for these ones seem to be settling.
And they're outcasts, so that would be why they're maybe different from the norm. But yeah, I think that ultimately we would like to not necessarily swear fealty like we'll be part of their subjects, but we'd like to set up an alliance or kind of like a good nature.
Are you saying this?
I'm talking amongst the group that's here right now, not to them.
I mean, the group that's here is like 10 feet from the guy you're talking to.
Oh, all right, that's fair.
He looks at you. Would you like to stay for dinner?
What's some kind of...
We killed
would
some
love to.
kind
Is there
of
something
giant
that we
rat
can bring?
today. No, we killed some kind of giant rat today. We were going to roast it.
Sounds lovely.
Yes, it should be.
You are aware that we were the ones who took out all the smilers in here?
What's a smiler?
The gang that used to reside in this. It's one of the big gangs in this town.
Did they make that terrible mess?
Yeah, well, yes.
We made the mess with them.
Yes, they made the mess of this place. We made a slightly bigger mess when we killed them all, and we do apologize for that.
That's fine. We tidied it up. We burnt some
don't
incense.
apologize for killing them.
We're sorry that we didn't come and help, but we were worried that that would be looked upon as hostility or encroaching on your territory. You know.
Totoro, come here.
As Whit yells at her animals.
Totoro's being bad.
Totoro has a red face right now because while I was in the bathroom, he got into the pot of spaghetti on the stove.
Oh, poor guy get burned? What the hell? Or is it just simmering?
No. no. It's been cold for a while. I need to put it away. That's what we had for dinner earlier, and I was waiting on it to cool off before I put it in the refrigerator. And he got into it while I was in the bathroom. And my dog's looking at me like, and you always blame the problems on me.
Well, when I say poor guy, I mean poor guy that you caught him. Because he would have had a great fucking time.
Well, his fur is beautiful in white and gray. So if he gets into red sauce, I'm gonna catch. I'm gonna go
put him outside and then tell the neighbors you're not there to fuck around. If they see a white dog with red shit all over their face, they're gonna know that.
So yeah,
next door.
So I guess we are staying for the meal because I'd be polite, right? We can't just not tell them no.
I'm genuinely enthusiastic for the invitation. This is going more well than I anticipated. So I'm genuinely going to have a good time. I mean, I wish I brought more than just one barrel.
So is there a place to sit? I put my giant axe like in front of me, like
good, brilliant. I like it.
Like I sit down.
Like that's your social distancing. You must sit on the right and left of this. That's a huge axe.
You see that there's at least one or two of the warriors that have weapons about the same size as yours.
Oh wow. Oh, I thought I had the biggest one in here. I guess not.
We got to start. Now they're going to get tape measures for penises now, apparently.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just walking around doing their job, but their axe is significantly larger
than the one I'm carrying.
I see that your axe is big as mine.
About the size of yours. They're wielding large weapons.
Schwartz is as big as mine.
That's right. Yippee! How is your workout?
Good.
I mean, I'm going to. I have the hedonist drawback, so I'm going to overindulge and like completely. I mean, legitimately befriend these people. These seem to be kind of my jam a little bit. You know, they don't seem to be. At least this guy doesn't seem to be a complete chaotic, bloodthirsty warrior. He seems to be values strength and power and proper manners. I'm all about that. Let's do it.
So, the night continues, and eventually, basically everyone comes through this room at least once. They come to get food, and then they go to various other places to eat it because this room isn't big enough for everyone. You are sat at a table near Thrud and a few other people, and you are spoken to by almost everybody who passes through. They wish you well. They say thank you for our home. They say we hope you do well. We hear you're doing well in the city. We hear you killed the ghosts.
They were already dead, technically.
Well, right. Re-killed the ghosts.
They were just mostly dead. They were.
You finalized the agreement.
They did thank us for our homes, or they thanked us for the home and acknowledged that we were the ones that pretty much gave them a place to live.
Sounds like.
Well, they acknowledged the fact that you allegedly cleaned out this place, as in made it empty so they could move into it.
We created a vacancy.
Yeah.
So what's the general mood among all the Kellids?
Everybody seems quite calm, quite familial, quite congenial. Just generally, they're having an evening, and there is a gigantic rat that they have roasted. It is huge.
So please tell me it's not Whisker Face, right?
No. It's an actual enormous rat. It's like 8 feet long.
Oh, ROTS? ROUTS?
Not that unusual.
Rats of unusual size.
It's a rat of unusual. It's a very large rat. It's an 8-foot rat. They're cooking.
For a flame spurt.
Along with vegetables and a variety of other things.
I will periodically remember that I should be eating as a human type person and
not using
technology. There's several children gathered around Alexander.
I'm going to make not uncomfortable advances, but I'm going to get chummy with Tatia if unless she cold shoulders me, but I'm going to gently inquire to the Kellids. I'm assuming Thrud has a vizier or a second or something like that. I'm going to gently inquire about what it would take to, like, what are the trials to become like an official member of the tribe?
You have to be born a Kellid.
Oh, there's no other way. There's no outsiders that are allowed. I don't want to offend. I'm just curious. This seems to be a great family.
It is possible to be adopted, but you would have to do a great service indeed.
That's what I aspire to do.
Ah.
Perhaps one day you may deem me worthy.
Might I suggest some push-ups and perhaps some jogging?
But
Sean?
Oh.
Combat prowess is not all about.
Can I high five on that one?
Yeah, like Buligup and I'll fist bump, and I'll appear to almost completely disappear as they're looking at me.
Oh my god!
They kind of nod. They kind of nod at the area and just kind of whisper among themselves. You catch words like dishonest, dishonorable,
to go into camouflage mode because you
cowardice.
embarrassed him.
I'm going to periodically ask questions about this Badlands, see if I can try and narrow down this stuff.
You're surrounded by at least two ranks of children at all times. They're kind of pawing at you a little bit.
Aww.
Santa! It's Santa with a gangster hat. Look.
Hello.
Santa.
Come on, say it. Come on, say the line.
Cut you because they're children in scrap wall.
Some of these children are extremely buff and they have axes, so let's not mess around with them.
Keep the change, you filthy animal. Say it. Say the line.
Just about anything CPS would say no to, these kids are doing.
That's right. They have a lot of sharp objects and they're being forced to exercise.
Do any of these small urchins have any knowledge of where Thrud gained his arm?
Mister, he got it in one of the places in the Badlands. One of them ruins, you know.
Could you show me where on a map?
No. Never seen a map.
Oh. Do you know if it's like 6 days walk or something like that?
Yeah. You're right. It's 3 days walk from that bent tree near that lake.
They're like little kids. They have no fucking clue.
They pick up definitely 3 days walk from that bent tree. We just got to find the fucking bent tree and the direction.
Right.
They lift boulders for their morning exercise.
I need a friendly or manipulable cyber surgeon. Damn it.
I want a cyber surgeon. Oh, you want to find the cyber lab?
Well, we've got 2 skill slots now: cyber eyes and a biofilter.
Cyber eyes. Who's going to have their eyes torn out to have cyber eyes put in?
Well, we have to go between the willing people and then
whoever else.
Yeah.
And the weak people who you could subdue.
If only Sandal Trent was still here.
If I had...
I mean, Sandal Trent is kind of here.
He had the necromancers... the technomancers do it probably, or the Technic League.
Yes.
Which isn't really an option for me.
No. You can't be the Technic League. You're a robot. They take you to pieces.
Android. I mean, human.
Robot. There's a strange scratching noise at my door.
Is that a Tyrael?
Let me go cream.
Cream. Okay, that's not a dog.
Regular cream, potted cream, double Devon cream,
hair cream.
Oh.
What? Ooh, you're supposed to put that in the snug. I don't know what that is.
This is an Irish coffee.
Oh,
Okay. Chin chin. Chin chin on my
Well, what
my
time?
thing. Chin chin.
Isn't it like
Chin
isn't
chin
it
me
like
here.
isn't it 10:20 at night there? You're having a coffee now?
That's
It is
true.
10:20. There's
How
so
else
little.
is
There's
he
so
gonna make
little
it
coffee in there.
doing all of this stuff and ranting about nothing related to the fucking game?
Hey, Hal, do the Kellids
Tim.
talk about anything that perks our interest? You know, as they're
I have
gossiping.
no
and-
idea what you're interested in, Tim. What are you listening for?
I don't know, maybe something they slip about the Lords of Rust or their encounters. Maybe they're just
they talk about the Lords of Rust in reasonably respectful tones. It seems like they've had a good relationship with them.
Oh, okay.
Up to this point, it seems like the Lords of Rust have dealt with the Kellids in a way that you wouldn't expect them to. They haven't dealt with them as like an invading army. They seem to have dealt with them as a thank you. Dealt with them like they're just going to come in and they're not going to cause all that much bother.
Yeah, they interfaced with Molokai the orc, and it sounded amenable, which is amazing because it's an orc, right? So
And I believe Molokai is a clerical type.
He is some kind of cleric.
Yeah, so it looked like he was trying to convert them or whatever, but he might have been scoping them out. Alexander was trying to feel them out for information on where Thrud got his arm and potentially a future role play or a future play at going to that area for loot, treasure, adventure, potentially cybernetic lab. Like, how else did he get the arm?
Well, if
they don't have the
If
technology.
it's a robot, I could be able to control it someday. So
I mean, not only are they kind of dodgy around technology, there's sure as hell no Kellid cyber surgeons, right? So he got his arm from somebody.
Not unless it's a android in disguise leading a Kellid tribe or something. Then they could have a
He does not look anything like an android.
No.
Yeah.
There's no tracery of circuitry.
He
on
said
his
he
face.
woke up like that, so he
Yeah.
woke up in some medical bot, like went in autopilot or something. Like that's your motivation, right? My motivation is to make these guys friends. But Tatia, what are you thinking? What are you looking to do? Okay.
Originally, I wanted allies, but now I want knowledge.
So we party it up, or I do anyway, because I'm going to execute my hedonist trait.
Look,
Oh,
look
that
at
was
my
good.
cool glass.
You went all
Empty already.
Yeah, you went all wino Starbucks on us there. That's awesome.
You've got to drink them fast because otherwise they just
Curdle.
get liquor in the bottom.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Kiss to my friend.
This is like Bill and Ted D&D style. Kiss me, my friend. Yes, Billy, good, my friend.
This tribe finding a new home far away from their home after exile. It almost it inspires poetry, no?
No, it does not.
Why don't you grace us with one of your famous poems?
No, it's more of a Buligup. It's more of a personal thing to my god to do at
You
night.
are a skald? We have lost our skald. He died in the wastelands. It would be good if you could grace us with some stories and tales and poetry.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's just tributes to my god. That's all.
Tatia says, so we could pay tribute to your god.
I start pounding my mug on the table.
What was the one you were working on earlier?
The beast with 1,000 backs.
We want poems. We want poems. We want poems.
I get up and go to another table.
It seems like the whole room is incredibly excited that you might be a skald.
No, I tell him I am no skald. My friend misunderstands.
This
Tatia
is
says, I don't
disappointing.
think they do.
Unfortunately, the life of a warrior poet is not for everyone.
Oh, look. I like that. highlight my message. Scald, scald, scald. You.
Scold. Camel.
Scald. Heck. Us. Scald.
Father Ted of
it is a
Scolds.
shame. We have had so little entertainment since our Scald died. She was torn apart by robots in the wastes as we ventured here.
All right, I tell them I stand up and grab my drink.
Did
Hold on,
you
I'm trying to
just
think of something.
Google? If you Googled a haiku, I'm gonna slap you.
Oh shit!
Because they sound so wooden.
Really?
Oh yes, so wooden.
A great axe has brushed. The battlefield has at ease. Has seen dyed in scarlet. That's probably something they would like.
It's so
I say we make a
bad.
collective diplomacy check at +4 because of the
+4. Add that +4. I mean, they look confused for a minute, and then they kind of give you a polite kind of golf clap.
Oh, Hal is just upset.
I totally like bang my mug on the table. Yeah.
I'm not upset. They liked it. They want more.
Can my bluff check bluff them into that was a freaking awesome poem and they're stupid for not liking it? Like a
All right, I have one more, and I stand up. I have my axe in my hand.
When you say have one more, do you mean you're actually about to produce some original work here?
Yes, this is original work.
One more
original work we like. We like original work.
All right. So this is this one I actually wrote. Born in bloodbath, revel in pain and glory, warrior forever. And I held my axe as I drinking my drink.
Oh, that's not bad, actually. That was pretty good. They like that. They give you a big round of applause and they bang their glasses on the table.
That's a Tiger Woods golf clap, not a fucking Shooter McGavin golf clap.
Okay, I want to stand up then because I've had a few drinks.
You literally have to stand up on his back, like Rocket Raccoon.
Well, one of the Kellids holds a shield above his head, so you can stand on it.
A banished king far from home finds new friends and a brand new throne.
Oh, that's another hooray!
Shit,
comes
that's
from the
deep,
crowd.
man. That's good job, Nick. We all drink. Yeah.
Everybody, I would step back a little bit. He may barf on himself in a minute.
I do worship
people's way.
I do worship art and beauty and love.
You do worship all of those things. That is true. You are a follower of the goddess of beauty.
Just out of curiosity, were there any, like tough-looking Kellid women that seemed overly impressed with my poetry?
That happen to look like Mandalorian females.
I mean, there's plenty of Kellids here, and they're all kind of happy to be having like this kind of entertainment. Some of them are starting to sing. Somebody pulls out a zither and starts playing it in the corner.
That's close to technology.
Flick the tongue.
It's a zither, not a theremin.
So it's low-tech technology,
Sure, they're allowed musical instruments. I feel.
Can I sense the motive of these urchins around me to figure out what they want?
They just look up at you. They're just really curious. Every now and again, one of them will be kind of pushed to the front of the line, and they'll ask you a question. Generally, it's along the lines of, do you see in color? Does this hurt? And they'll pinch your leg. What does this taste like?
He is disguised. He does not look like an android, just to be clear.
Yeah, they're not fooled.
Cool.
They know he's an android disguised as something else.
It's a magic disguise, though. I don't know. That's kind of.
These are children.
Dude, I know
these are
you're
children?
a Jedi that's
These
dressed up as a Valor.
These are urchins. They see through your.
So they're
see through
like,
your
so they're
skullduggery.
like Carol. They're like Carol Ann from Poltergeist. They see through that shit.
Well,
They're
also,
totally seeing through it.
also, I have the look, but not the mannerisms or speaking
Yeah,
patterns
he's
of.
he's not like he
fair.
doesn't sound anything like what he looks.
The only reason why I'm raising an eyebrow is because these are freaking tribal nomadic barbarians. Like, if he can't fool these people, he's fucking doomed.
He
He
rolled a
can't fool anybody.
5 with a -4.
Oh, that's pain. That's so painful. The things that Kiernan is so good at. Oh, that's right. I see sense motive here. The things that Kiernan are so good at, I see him do it. I'm just like, oh my god, I would have put an ice pick in my ear.
It's like you rolled in like a Commodore 64 or something and had it like talk to these kids. Yes. No. Affirmative.
Dr.
Negative.
Zoloff of Hydra on all these tape drives.
I can taste and analyze the full range of flavors.
Exactly right. They're just like, are you a robot? So you have a long conversation about how you're not a robot, but eventually they're not really believing you.
Mommy had told me to ask you if your hard drive becomes a floppy disk.
When I required
Maybe.
to.
All right.
Yes, you have lots of children around you. They talk to you all night about various stupid things that children are interested in.
All right, and now what happens?
I
And
would
then
like
what
to
happens?
dance.
Yeah, you have a good evening. There's music and there's songs, mostly Kellid songs, sung in Hallit. So if you don't know Hallit, then the songs are interesting and kind of.
Do we hear anything from people, music, whatever, that may be of interest to us?
Good question. Very good question.
There's a lot of so you can't really understand the words of the songs. A lot of them are about plain life. So the steppe and travel and the wind and stories of adventure and that kind of thing. There's nothing specific to Scrap Wall or anything you guys are on about. There's some stories about technology and how terrible it has been, at which Thrud looks quite embarrassed for the entire song, but he appreciates that it's got a good beat and he taps his foot along anyway. But no, they just seem to be having a reasonably good time.
Okay.
Rat doesn't taste terrible. They've seasoned it well.
Had a lot of practice with rats.
So, is there anything that the group might want to get out of this engagement until we push forward to next movement or whatever, next scene?
Oh, I got my eye on some things I want to get out of this.
Okay, lay it on us, Buligup.
Zip.
He's looking at the tough Kellid ladies.
So
the ones that pop his head off with their bicep.
Oh my god, yes.
Hey, so Buligup, motorboating is a dex action, just so you know.
Right? Except for in this case, it's Constitution. It's like having a tit wank.
Death by snoo snoo? Is it death by snoo snoo?
Fortitude save.
That's right. Crushed pelvis.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like getting a tit wank between two rocks.
That's the way I likes it.
God.
I would like to say to Thrud that if I ever gain the capability of regenerating limbs, I would be happy to replace his.
I would appreciate that. It has been something of an embarrassment, and it would be nice to take back my place in the tribes, but for the moment, I am content to stay here with these, in this hive of scum and villainy.
Were you when you were gifted / cursed with this limb, does it have any additional capabilities?
Yes, it has some kind of gun inside it. spins very fast and shoots a lot of bullets.
And you hear in John Candy's voice, this adult attachment comes out of one.
That's right.
Yeah. Quickly looks
What's it-
to Alexander and goes, I fucking knew it.
He holds it forward for a second and clenches his fist, and the whole top of it opens up, and there's basically a minigun set on top of it.
That
Can
is
I take a closer
so
look?
fucking cool. Holy shit.
So Shadowrun, that's amazing.
I've not had it loaded since it was attached, but it is here.
Oh my gosh, and you don't like this thing?
There's no honor in this.
Do sleight of hand, and I'll have I'll have an empty
Sleight of
hand, and I'll do sleight of hand and pull out a battery.
How is
This
there
might make you
no
shoot it.
honor in the skill of using a weapon?
There is no honor in not seeing the light fade from your enemy's eyes as you throttle it out of them.
It's a perception.
Huzzah!
That's just a
I'm hearing
perception
the
check.
lamentations of the women.
Totally could.
Oui, and exactly.
Like Buligup.
Would
A drunken Frenchman.
in an attempt to raise our status,
That is a melodramatic fool.
in an attempt to raise our status or friendship with the tribe, I would offer and look to Alexander. We could potentially make that operational if you want. I have a power source for it if you wish.
It's got power. It doesn't have bullets, I believe he said.
Yeah, he doesn't fire it. He just uses the arm as an arm.
Oh, I thought it was the opposite. He didn't have power. He didn't have power to it. Okay.
Nope, his arm works fine.
He
But
just
the
has
weapon,
a
so the weapon is a ballistic. It's not an energy weapon.
Correct.
Okay. Get Dinvaya to
We
create a
could
relationship
theoretically
with these guys to fabricate bullets.
We could theoretically remove that. He won't use it. It's
It's
dishonorable to
technology.
his people.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like he won't. Yeah. Like I don't think he'll ever even use it at all.
Yeah, it sounds like he would think of it as an insult or
Like
Right,
a bad omen.
He feels bad by scratching his ass with it.
yeah, so fixing it up would kind of be like rubbing it in his face.
Sure, but if
Man.
if Alexander wants it for scrap after we trade it with the real arm, we get the Pinocchio fairy to make him a real boy.
No, yeah. if I gain access to 7th level spells, I can regenerate limbs.
Shit.
Yeah, but that's a little ways away, so we're
It
not
is.
going to be able to do that for him right now.
No,
Or
you would have to return.
we could kill a smiler, use sculpt corpse to make it look like Thrud, take the arm off, put it on, boom, there we are.
Well,
Frankenstein
then
shit right there.
Then I needed to invest in necrographs, which is definitely a possibility, but that's
Is
going
it
to require
true?
new feet.
What's your point?
Isn't that
That's
pretty
a lot of
evil?
investment in
necrographing?
some random dude we just met, so let's maybe think.
Isn't necrografting a bit evil?
Is it evil or is it more how you use it?
It depends. I think it depends how you get it.
Maybe.
I thought the way you get it is nearly always not good, which is why it is what it is.
He's
I mean,
getting
was
it
there
by
murder or digging involved in the when you obtained this limb?
murder of a smiler that tried to kill us
Well,
in self-defense.
If we're just using parts from somebody we killed anyways, then we're just like using the whole buffalo, and it's very honorable.
You're going to end up with
green.
an evil dead situation, and there's going to be a possessed hand taking everything by storm.
Actually, now that I bring it up, necrographs do go are under craft wondrous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You already have that, don't you?
Yes, necrographed arm, caster level 13, craft wondrous item, animate dead, which I have, and regenerate. So it would be a
13th level thing.
Well, no, it's that just sets the DC. So I would need to do a 18 DC because I don't actually have the regenerate spell. Oh, and I'd have to have 8 ranks in heal, so that'd be raise it to a 23 DC for spellcraft, and
To be able
12,000 gold.
to be able to
He
create a magical-
blase rolled a 32 on spellcraft for scribing a scroll. So boom.
Yeah, so that would be to create a dead arm you could attach to Thrud.
Yes, Arm of Undead Flesh allows its host to lift 1.5 times his maximum load over his head. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Would an undead arm be more honorable than a technological
He
based
wouldn't.
arm?
He doesn't have to know it's an undead arm. Why would he even know?
Because it looks like an undead arm.
Why would it look like an undead arm?
It's
'Cause an
rotting.
undead arm.
It's not
It's
rotting.
undead. It's undead flesh.
But it's not
It's-
rotting though, right? You kill the guy fresh.
It's cold.
Okay.
It doesn't feel. It's
That's
undead.
fair. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
a good point.
And
That's
it
a
would
good
be
ruling
clumsy.
out.
It would impose a
Right.
-2 circumstance penalty on all graft, disabled device, and sleight of hand checks.
Because it's clumsy.
I'm still going off the rails on this. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So what else
Fine.
happens during the meal?
What else do you want to happen, Tim?
Alright.
Buligup heads off to a back room with 3 ladies, apparently, and possibly some men.
It is the way of the forge.
Well, I did say that the drinking and fornication celebratory drinking and fornication would be the day after, since we had to heal.
Hey,
So
you're a
I need to
prophet.
know are any of them? Do any of them smell like hamsters or smell like elderberries? Just saying.
No, none of them. Not a one.
Okay.
They're all outside being mocked.
All right. I'm trying to make friends. He's trying to make it. Tatia's. Yeah, I think we're clear. Everyone's got their agendas. This is great. I love all this.
Tatia
I mean, considering none of this is in the actual book, it's just like some shit that Aaron dropped in on you or Hulk dropped in on you.
Good. But this could pay dividends in the future if we ever need to come back here.
I mean, as a group, they're not offensive. That
No,
was never the intent here. They have
What
an
is their
issue.
what is their predominant deity? However, I don't even know. Like, what's their? Are they overly religious, or are they like not?
They don't seem to be overly religious. They do have clerics who worship various gods, but I mean,
probably
they're
not Pry.
not Bry. No.
Well,
They're
the reason
more
why I was asking is, can we do 2 things? Can we get some Kellids that are coming into town to inhabit the fortress that's outside of town that we met first? And conversely, can they get refuge here or get protection from Kellids? You know, and they might be able to say, "Oh yeah, we can like not necessarily convert them, but show them the ways of what
Siren
Sarenrae?"
Ray.
Siren Ray. So their primary god from their clerics is Eristil.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know enough of the Galarian pantheons. Does like Sarenrae and how are they? Are they opposed? Or are they kind of sort of chummy? Or
Eristil, yes. I mean, Eristil
good.
has no real issue. Eristil is the god for the Kellids. Eristil is the god of the hunt. He's also the god of farming, but he's for the Kellids. They worship him on his hunting side more so.
If they worshipped Rovagug, it'd be more of an issue.
Yes, I mean there are some Kellids that possibly do worship Rovagug.
I seriously doubt these guys do, considering the welcome we got.
They don't. No. So the clerics here mostly worship Eristil.
Just a thought. I'll leave it at that. We could
But
potentially.
Eristil and Sarenrae are not on bad terms. There's no real issue. I mean, Eristil is a lawful good deity.
Yeah, okay, so I feel that the Sarenrae paladins over in the fortress have their pants unzipped, right? I mean, they're completely defenseless. They already were overtaken by some shit smilers. We've wiped the
Let's
flop
not lie.
of
There was
floor.
only 4 of them that were left.
Right, and most
Yeah.
of them weren't. Yeah, much level. But we did reinforce their building a bit.
I'm just saying, like right now, they're still. I'm not saying that their forest originally wasn't good. It's just now they're kind of hurting, and they do seem to stand there. Plus, the Kellids could live there as well, so it could be a double encampment.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea if you wanted to suggest it. Thrud might send some warriors over to help out.
We can do that off camera if you want, just to save camera time.
Oh, I'm happy to discuss it on camera. We're happy to have a discursive session.
Let's do it.
I'll suggest it to Tatia because I feel I shouldn't be the one speaking. Tatia and Akezdu can suggest it.
I should never be the one speaking, but it doesn't always stop me.
It is.
Well, yeah,
true.
but I know when to zip the mouth when it's not the best advantageous situation. So they're not going to listen to little old scrawny me. They're going to listen to, Tatia with the badass tiger and Akezdu with the badass axe. Just a thought, like we would want to approach them and ask the paladins of Sarenrae, but they would be able to provide healing support as well as additional what am I looking for? A living space that's protected outside of this town.
I do believe they were expecting reinforcements or at least a supply within the next couple weeks.
Yep, but it's something that we can at least establish a relationship with them, but we'd want to go and talk to them.
Yes.
So if you suggest that,
I think we should probably
then
talk to the
Exine-
paladins first. Like,
Well,
the paladins would be able.
we're here now, and we can say that we will get back to them, and then we'll go talk to the paladins.
Yes, I don't believe the paladins are welcome within Scrapwall, although if they came in the back way, nobody would know. But
Yeah, I don't know if they're welcome or not welcome. I don't think they've ever just tried, but at the same time, they'd never come here, right? So it's
Do we
more
even
about-
know why the paladins were guarding that outpost, anyways?
because it's their outpost.
It was a traditional church of theirs for God knows how long.
It's a stopping point on the crusades that go north from here.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if they're going to be too happy with a bunch of Kellids in there, but who knows?
Well, but the fact is, it's been, to their own admission, less and less resources have been spent here, and a bunch of shit smilers came and took them over. So they are either going to leave because we're going to get overrun, or I don't think they'd be opposed to it if the alternative is annihilation, right? We can ask them. It's their decision. It's not mine.
Well, they could also be very ignorant, right? Like sometimes people, even though it's probably the dumbest thing, some people just stick to it because they believe that's what's right. Right.
But that's where we can explain to them that we think this will help them. But you're right. You're right. I just think that we're already here. We'll just say, hey, we can negotiate with this. Is this something that you might want to be able to, expand into, and it'd be like your own stronghold that will be shared with Sarenrae, the followers of Sarenrae. They own it, but they would appreciate any help in bolstering their defenses, but it would also provide extra living space right now because it's not being used.
Well, depending if they're going to garden or
I am saying this to Akezdu and Tatia. We're sort of talking on the side. I am not going to suggest it.
I don't know. I think we should probably talk to the paladins first before we make a suggestion to the Kellids. That could be something like we can maybe do a bargaining after we possibly leave Scrapwall. I think if we announce it now, it may just cause problems for somebody else.
Okay, that's fair. Because then they might start showing up, assuming, and then
yeah, or they're like, oh, well, that party said this place could be ours, and it can be up to interpretation or what they want to hear, right?
Yeah. Still are barbarians, after all.
Well, if we screw it up, we can not come back,
Bye.
What?
I would like to try to. I want to go to the Dintishtry at least.
Right
Sounds
now.
good.
Well,
Right now.
no,
After
in the
you've
morning
partied
again?
and drunk and Buligup's neck deep in Vaseline.
no. I guess I was out of character. I would like to go to there tonight at least.
You would like to go there tonight? You mean tonight in game time or tonight
Yes.
in actual time?
No, an actual time. I would actually
what
like.
you're saying is, as a player, Tim would like to go and visit the array this evening.
Sometime
Yeah.
tonight, yes.
You mean rather than just having a party and talking to the Kellids?
Well, no, I want to do both.
So is anybody suggesting that Algeronad's grave might be a place the Kellids might want to go and send an emissary to?
I mean, I suggested it, but Akeztu was saying that that's not a good idea because we don't want them to start just showing up proactively. And I kowtow to that. I
We
don't
want to
disagree
bother
with them.
spending any time to know somebody, but I mean, not like we would be able to do it well, but at least to some degree, somebody that we think is worth talking to and being like, I heard this.
They could possibly send like a emissary, but would it be better if one of us actually did it, or they just send an emissary?
No, I'm saying we negotiate that so we get credit for it. But
Or should we not tell anybody, stand guard while nobody's watching, and then when they show up, make ourselves look like total bosses and kick their asses?
Kick whose asses?
I don't know, anybody.
So I should fireball?
Okay, so now Tati is chaotic neutral. Just saying. It's shifting towards yes. Your hate is
You've met with, right? It's totally chaotic neutral.
Yes, I love it. I love everything about it.
So I'll get there. I'll get it.
No. I'm thinking that we could.
We could go into detail what Nick is doing.
Oh God.
Would you like to?
No, because Nick will provide that detail, and that's even beyond the explicit tag in iTunes for the podcast.
What does Apple know about it?
Apple knows. That's how I download. That's how I download all of the RPG MP3 stuff is on iTunes. All of it.
Really?
I use iTunes for all of it. That's how I get my feeds.
So old school. I finally got back to editing audio, by the way, which means there's releases on the horizon, which makes me happy.
That'll make Presto Jeff happy too.
I know, it makes me happy. It's been a while because of the house move and everything, but we'll get there.
But yeah, I'm not doing anything else, just drinking with the Kellids.
Right? They drink with you. They've opened your bottle, your beer, and they're passing it around, and they eat the rat, and they bring in more beer, and they bring in mead, and they bring in wine, they bring water, and they bring in all of those things. And the night passes with great festivity. There is music and drums and zithers and flutes and singing and dancing and terrible fornication, and it's great.
Amazing fornication.
Yes.
Do they have a restroom here, or do you go out the back tunnel to the third bush?
There is a chamber pot situation in this building.
Cool. Squatty potty.
I always thought they were strange. I was never sure whether they'd work. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any trouble shitting anyway, so I would never really investigate it. But
I was gonna say, you've never had time where you like prop your leg up on the wall of the bathroom and you just pray to the porcelain god that sweet release is going to happen.
No, because I have a balanced diet.
Good for you. So should everybody else, but sometimes it happens.
But Hal has indulged in Taco Tuesday, so those Wednesday afternoons are pretty brutal.
I'm gonna say sometimes stuff comes out extra fast, but I've never had a problem with it coming out extra slow.
I don't know. Even when it comes extra fast, you have to brace yourself for passing out on the toilet. And it sounds like you probably.
I'm sorry, passing out?
Passing out.
Yeah, what is your diet?
I mean, wit's pretty tiny. Anything that's got a lot of fiber in it's going to cause some pain, I would imagine.
Does wit have the 5 constitution?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's some explosive bowel evacuation going on there.
When my kidney stones first hit and they were giving me morphine and then Percocet, it's like my first bowel movement in 5 days was rather epic.
Holy shit, that's like poop knife land.
That's why I don't like things like hydrocodone, because
oh my god,
up my stomach. So I'm like, I don't feel better, and it messes up my poo-poo. I don't want
So
this.
good. Hey, Tim, you're learning that life is
Never get
circular. The whole world is a cycle, and eventually it comes back to the poop knife.
Oh,
I think
I remember that. That was like an hour and a half of one of our sessions. It was freaking just poop knife. That's all it was.
I think Elton John.
You're welcome.
Elton John sang a song of that in Lion
Like a
King.
poop knife in the wind.
That's right, Poop Knife. Elton John sang a song called Poop Knife. You're right.
Poop
And that was where the
knife.
Hot Pocket reference came from too. I think.
All right, Hal, where were we on the story?
You're in the
All right.
Kellids camp, Tim, having a
So
party.
we
and
partied.
talking
We
about
partied
poop
all
knives.
night. So we have two things that are going on, right? We've
Every
got
Kellid
some-
has a poop knife, Bill. Everyone.
That's so disgusting.
That's
I mean,
apparently
Tim,
required.
Wait, what are you
Tim,
fucking shitting out bricks? And they have
Tim,
like they
Tim,
can...
is it disgusting or is it just somebody finding a solution to a problem that they've created?
It seems like a problem within a problem within a problem, right?
I don't know.
Like
I mean,
a-
Poopception.
Like a turd uckin.
But
okay, that's awful.
And what's worse is that thread. They like, what? You don't have a poop knife at home too? I mean, that's
No,
like.
I'm so glad you Googled it and read the whole thread.
No. I didn't have to Google it. You told me it. I still remember it.
It's a
I'm
PTSD.
glad I've
has been
had an effect on your
traumatized.
psyche, Tim.
No, I just have a bad thing. Like I just remember
Do you have a
random
poop knife
shit.
or do you have a poop axe?
Like I literally.
Oh, take this, chop. I mean, you've got to be careful your ball. You've got to be careful your balls aren't hanging down too far with that thing.
All right. So what else happens with the Kellids that night?
So we got leads on the Kellids of a potential cybernetic robot medical facility.
This is
We
eating into
also-
my spell study time.
Yeah, but we also have, as far as on the other side of this party, in the morning after we rest, we're going to set charges, not necessarily detonate them, but we're going to want to set charges on this array. And then the next step would be
Well, we don't know what happens. Like
Yeah.
we just know like we want to get rid of the receiver array because it like screwed up the other town.
But it also sends a message
Yes.
too, right?
Can I just say, after all that conversation about whether you should like tell them about this other place or not, I'm really tempted for drunk Buligup just to be like, you guys should go check out that place.
You could totally take those Knights of Saren, Ray.
I'm so tempted to pull a drunk
There's
move.
only like 3 of them, and they're terribly crap.
Yeah,
They're all shit.
immediately start to put your head in his mouth to muffle you with both.
Oh,
feet.
I'm already in a back room with a bunch of Kellid broads. Like,
And men, there could be some tossed salad action.
yes,
going
there were men involved as well. Yes.
So,
Salad.
so are we staying here till morning, or are we going back to our
You're
place?
welcome to. I mean, the idea here is everybody passes out pissed drunk and they fall asleep where they end up.
I
Does
guess-
anyone want to- I mean, I'm chaotic good. I don't feel like necessarily, or Tatia wouldn't necessarily steal from these people, but given that she likes strategy, she would want to talk to these people and try to woo whatever she can out of people. So
There's lots of people here. They're heavily drinking. They are the guards that are on duty are not drinking at all.
Yeah,
they
they'll take it
partake in
seriously.
food, and the people who are serving will bring them things which is water or juices.
Oh yeah, Ikesu doesn't get like piss drunk. Like, yeah.
Does he not though?
No.
Oh.
Because the last time you did that, I ended up having a very abusive significant other where she was, yeah.
Really?
Hold the fuck on.
Hey, you weren't here, Nick. You weren't in there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking about in this game? I thought you
He
were
was,
talking.
he was the abusive significant other.
I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking. Skull and Shackles. I was like, she was not abusive. You
Yeah,
were
she
the
did.
you
Nick
were
was-
the
Nick was
gaslighting
like-
abusive one.
Nick has his hand over Tim's mouth. Shh,
Yeah.
just let it happen.
Oh my gosh.
I guess
It's
when the
not
crowd,
live.
This took a dark turn.
Oh no, you have to watch it. It didn't take a dark turn. Tim accidentally was like the worst person in the world.
Oh my god.
accidentally,
Accidentally.
Well,
That's
we're gonna say accidentally. We're not gonna say accident. Is it accidental? Tim, is it accidental?
I thought it was funny as hell, but yeah, sure.
Really? Accidentally forgot the lady's name.
that's
and
what
all
all sociopaths say.
has he ever remembered any lady's name?
Oh
No.
The funniest part was where he called the lady he'd been talking to for like 4 sessions Titty.
I remember that.
Yes, it was hilarious because her name was Tilly. The whole
Yeah,
time.
Tilly, and I said titty for whatever
Get
reason.
names right. How many
Oh,
goddamn
God,
sessions has
Diddy.
Dinvaya been Ditto or Diddy? I mean, you
I
know,
know, it's just terrible. Tim. You're just terrible with ladies' names.
how did he ever get married? How did you ever fucking get married, dude? Seriously, you know?
Married.
No, but I get reminded by her grandma,
What's her
all
name?
her aunts.
What's her name?
Oh, Becca.
Yeah.
What's her real name?
It's
Her actual
like-
name is Rebecca.
Okay, gotcha. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
But yeah, anything else happen, Hal?
No, you all pass out piss drunk. where you
I
sleep.
plan on-
No,
Well,
I didn't get pissed drunk. I'm
I'm
not playing
pissed
that
you
game.
go, are you going home then, or are you staying there?
No,
Kiernan
staying
is.
there, but I'm not getting
Okay.
pissed drunk.
Kiernan
When-
is.
When enough people have gotten drunk or whatever and it's spread out a bit, I would like to go towards a corner chamber pot
Yes.
and
Shoot it with nanites.
no, I would like to cast gentle repose on the bit of Sandal's brain.
Good old Sandal. He's still with us somehow in a pot.
Yeah, where do you have him at? Is he in your haversack or something? It's like a
Yeah,
body.
He's in
or-
like
He's
a
in-
jar.
He's in a very dark C3PO like backpack. I
So,
think.
so basically, what he has a piece
I'm
of
just imagining
basically.
him going like, look inside of my tiny, creepy jar. And
Yes, basically, and there's a hunk of flesh in there that he keeps relatively fresh by casting gentle repose on it every
Right.
few days. But it came off of the skill slot you extracted from Sandal's skull after you murdered him.
Did we murder him? He got
No,
killed
we
by
didn't.
accident.
We got him
Wow.
killed.
Yeah, we
You
got,
got him killed. You got him killed.
Totally different now.
We guilt/threatened him into adventuring with us to be killed.
That's right, and then he died.
Which is why, when I get a high enough level, I may try and reincarnate him from this bit of flesh.
And then he'll come back as like a who knows what.
An angry
bugbear.
poltergeist? Fuck that.
No, he'll come back as something really amusing, probably.
Goblin.
Well,
Oh, the Splug Goblin. You got to
Well,
do
the-
the Splug voice
the-
again.
The standard Pathfinder table is pretty boring because you can't become a badger and whatnot anymore, at least. Although somebody came up with a
Oh
new,
my god,
Mark,
I'm just gonna get a spoon so I can keep talking about poking the badger with a spoon.
although somebody came up with a new chart that actually has Android on it, which I guess is a point of contention because normally it's like androids can reincarnate as other people, but other souls don't incarnate into androids.
Because there's a limited amount of android bodies.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not about the souls, it's about the bodies, right?
I
They're
think
not
that's
born.
that's probably less to do with the spell and more to do with the role playing of the quest. Like if they have a body of a android there and they can't.
Well, in that case, you'd be doing something else to pull a soul back into it, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted to preserve the body of the cleric that we fought, because that's a home for another android if it isn't
Right.
too badly mangled. But
what happens is they eventually another android is born into it and reforms it, and then the nanites recreate it, and then they get up and walk away, right?
Yep. And occasionally some of us are born out of
Okay, so
engines.
That sounds very boxing Helena based on the last podcast we did.
Hey, wait, there's another movie to add to your list.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Alexander's got this female.
What does Alexander
android in
do
a box.
with whatever brain he
What
has?
movie am I putting on my
That'll
list?
But he
repose.
also has the cleric that we killed, like in a box apparently, so that he can
He's not a cleric, he's a magus.
magus.
What am I supposed to add
Sandal.
next to Zardoz?
Boxing Helena. It's a
Boxing.
movie.
Horrible.
It's very similar to $1 Million Baby.
Kind of.
Okay,
So what does Alexander do?
I'm preserving the bit
I
of
don't know
Sandal's
what that
brain.
second word is. Yeah, basic. Yeah, that. You're very good girl handwriting, where everything looks like a circle.
Yeah, it's got Julian Sands in it, who stars.
Alexander is casting a spell on something in the corner in a jar.
And then sticking it back in my bag while I pretend to use the chamber pot.
As you know, I'd hate to get some pee on Sandal's brain.
It's sterile.
It's sterile. I mean, your pee probably is sterile.
It's got a name on it, Abby someone.
Abby normal.
Abby normal.
Okay, so you pass out, you have a good night, it's a great time, you fall asleep, you wake up, everybody has a headache.
Thank you.
I
Except for
probably did not.
Tatia, because Tatia made sure to have lots of water with her alcohol.
Of course,
And I
that's the best way.
And I probably imbibed very little because I don't need to. And
Hey, Tim, what you watching on your phone?
Nothing.
Really? Are you looking at pornography, Tim?
Bullshit. It took him how long to respond to that?
I have 2 heads that are aching today.
Bulligup's Red Raw.
Oh, it was
There
a
will
long
be-
night, but it was worth it.
There will be many.
Better got a social disease.
In 16 weeks, there will be many Kellid tadpoles in the tribe. Yes.
There's only one that will make it.
Not the way we did it. There will not be.
Jump out.
Don't your women just do clutches of eggs somewhere and then you go spray them?
That's basically right.
Why the fuck do you think I got away from there?
That's right. So basically, all these Kellids are just like, "Let's go," and he's just like,
Point me at your eggs.
So the whole piece.
Oh my god! It reminds me of like my brother sent me a clip of a movie. It was like the Muppet movie, but it was like rated R.
Hang on. Whoa. Hang on.
It was
spraying his juice over a bunch of ladies reminds you of your brother.
And
no. You took it out of context. There was like a rated R like Mutt. Yes, there was like a rated R like Muppet movie, and like he was like a Muppet. He was like spraying his jizz like everywhere, like kept on going. It was in the theaters recently. Within
that was.
Recently?
Oh shit!
That was last year and a half.
The Happy Time Murders.
Yes.
But those aren't real Muppets.
It doesn't matter. The whole point is there's a scene where he's like, oh, like shooting it like everywhere.
And it's made of colored string, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Colored string.
I give new meaning to from the windows to the walls, no?
It was like everything. It was all over the walls, the desk, the chair. Like it was everywhere.
We talked about those MTV Video Awards. There was one year where Lisa Kudrow from Friends and Jack Black did a spoof on Spider-Man, the original Tobey Maguire one. And he just got bit by the spider. He got passed out. He's waking up in his bedroom like, oh my God, what happened? And then like Lisa Kudrow is across the way, or was it Sarah Michelle Gellar? She's like changing, and then like she turns her back and she takes her top off or whatever. You don't see anything, but then he's like, you see him like shaking his hand, and then all the spider webs start shooting all around the room. And you're like, oh my god, is this really happening? It's like really, really graphic. It's like,
Look,
It sounds like
everyone
something they
drinks.
probably already made a porno about.
Everybody drinks. There's a porno about everything.
There is a porno about everything. Everybody drinks.
Rule 34.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
All right, so I think we got a good plan for next session, right? We've got the array to rig up, and
Going
we've
for the
got.
array.
Are we saying this session is over?
Well, I think it's after midnight here, so I got to get going. So.
Oh my god!
I think Buligup has some disinfectant wipes to use.
I will generously give you 500 experience each for a wonderful session where you didn't actually do anything.
Woohoo!
And
Thank
nobody
you.
had to die.
Yeah, I think we were
gracious
establishing
GM.
relationships. Yeah.
GM.
I don't mind you going and talking to people. I think it's
Great.
interesting for a session now and again.
So 500 each, or I don't.
Yeah, 500 each.
So what's that put us at? 2,306?
Right there with the little heart next to it.
You have very girly handwriting, Whit.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sexist.
How about it's just very pretty?
It's nothing like mine. Mine looks like total shit these days.
Mine is worse than doctor's writing.
Oh, it's bad. I look at my dad's, which is basically like fucking perfect copper plate, and I'm like, fuck that shit. We love you too.
So what do we have? 23,500? Oh no, I'm sorry. 19,506. How much?
No, because we got the 500 last time or whatever, so we're at 20,306.
What do you need?
23,000.
God, you're far away. Look at you struggling to get to that level.
I know, it's kind of sad.
It's about fun though. We had good fun today.
Just say, actually, our frame rate is settled down since we started. That's good.
So 20,306.
Yeah.
20,306. Look at you, Tim. You're almost level 6. Is it 6? You're almost a 5. 6.
Yeah, it'll be 6 where he gets a second attack. Finally.
Ooh, second attack, Tim.
And Buligup.
No. The coolest thing is I'll have is intimidate as a free action.
That is so not the coolest thing. The second attack is the coolest thing.
The problem with going the intimidate route, playing Iron Gods, is that a lot of things you fight are robots, and they don't.
You know, I had the discussion with Alexander and Kiernan that one of the things I was worried about is going that route. Like you maybe run into a lot of robots in the later books.
Is that a snake heading towards 3 dicks in a pile?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It looked like.
Yes.
Rubbing the dicks with stuff.
Well endowed captain.
Ooh, yeah, you like it, don't you? Oh yeah, right there along the back of the shaft, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, Hal. That was the other thing I was concerned about is on these books that if I was going down the intimidate route, I think I was more of like gimping myself. But I don't know what's
my underwear now.
No, there's no wrong way to build the character here. If you want to go down intimidate, there's plenty of stuff that's going to fight you that will be affected by it. That's just in this particular adventure series. Yeah, there is a lot more percentage-wise that is not going to be affected because
it's disproportionately rigged against that build.
Correct.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Which isn't bad. I mean, if you were truly min-maxing, you probably wouldn't go that way. You would aim for things that took out hardness, or you did that kind of stuff. You know, you'd buy weapons that broke through it. Just because.
Well, it's not it. I'm not trying to min-max. It's just like. Going down that route, like just like completely kind of like wasting a whole. I mean, I'm not trying to min-max, but it's just.
I mean, in certain encounters, it'll be amazingly great.
Yeah.
I mean, Gorham does amazing in the Pathfinder games later on when he's maxed out with it.
Oh yeah.
He's just like wow, and like half the battlefield runs away.
Which got to be annoying, and I stopped making intimidate checks sometimes because chasing down the people.
You just wanted to fight something.
Yeah.
That's just.
That's the problem with that kind of build. That build works really well with a good archer.
Yeah.
I almost went the archer route with sniper. I could do such sick damage because
I thought originally when you started playing Kiernan, he was going to end up as an archer.
Yeah, because as an archer, I get sneak attack if I'm within a certain range, but then I take a couple of these unchained rogue feats, and I can fire a bow, get sneak attack, and immediately make a free hide action to hide again, and then next attack I get the same thing. And it's like a build that does that, but it's like sort of like a relying on range though, because once you start getting into dungeon settings, that's a lot harder, you know.
There's some good stuff you can do with Pathfinder. It's one of the reasons I like it. First edition, because there's so much of it, lets you be very flexible. Second edition's drawing my interest more and more, particularly because apparently there's a mega dungeon coming out, which makes me happy because I do like big dungeons. I mean, they're like, it's a big dungeon. It's like everybody who releases a mega dungeon is like, it's a mega dungeon, like never before, but it's always like always before.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the rod of seven parts.
The only time it isn't is when there's rules for things that are challenges that aren't just combat, like starvation or some kind of weird effect of your soul is slowly draining away and you have to
look.
What's that one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the
nice.
world's largest dungeon. It's the original one.
Right.
Look,
original.
It's signed by all the players.
Well, that's
sweet.
I mean, the world's largest dungeon is one of the big approaches to that, where you're locking people into the closed environment. But then it's like you have to, if you do that, you have to actually provide for everything people are going to need as they level and grow in that environment. And they didn't do a really good job then doing that.
World's Largest Dungeon had huge problems in that you were basically given the stuff you found, and there was no way to upgrade it or change it. If you found a trident +1, your fighter ended up specializing in a trident because there literally was nothing else.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I don't hate as a setting. If I'm going to do something like that, the whole survival aspect of it is like a big deal for me, I think. Are you going to starve to death? What are you going to eat? What are they eating? What's going on? Can you can you trade with these people?
Out of the Abyss was good like that because it really went into the Underdark aspects of.
I actually quite like Night Below. It actually does pretty well in setting you up as like when you get down into the Underdark pretty deep and you go down there, there's various civilizations and cities you can trade with and that kind of stuff. There's obviously ones you don't want to trade with, but it was an adventure I tried to start with a party here in Texas, and it didn't work well. It fell apart before it got started, but it's something I might like to review again. But I have promised the internet that when one of my parties that I'm running right now dies, we might get Rollmaster, or we might not.
Oh, I thought we were all going to get in on some vampire action.
See, vampire's another option.
That's what I would vote for. I'd love to.
I mean, over on this shelf over here, I have all my White Wolf shit.
So
over there, I have all my D&D shit, and over there I have all my Pathfinder shit. And over there I have all the rest of my shit, and over there I have more shit, and it's super great.
Win-win for me, because I've talked to you for years about doing Rollmaster, so I'm easy either way.
Rollmaster's awesome. It's honestly, of all the games I've run, Rollmaster is my favorite to GM. Because it's so easy, and I never know where it's going to go.
Well, I still have that lay healer too. We rolled up for the game that never happened before we started this.
Yeah, I had a mage.
Ultimately, the games are it's tough. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we do need to play it. I love it. I've got a whole shelf of it.
Hey, Hal, we're still streaming.
I know. We're talking about games. We're allowed. Hey, Tim, you'd like Rollmaster. There's no way to min-max it at all. At any point, a level 1 urchin could kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tim, go back and listen to the Rollmaster sessions on rpgmp3.com. I've listened to them probably 2 or 3 times.
I don't know. I don't
so entertaining. Well, but there was a scene where I want to say, I can't remember his name, the barbarian. fighter
Oh,
was like
Moga.
level 2.
Moga.
Yeah, he was like level 2, and there were some trolls coming, and there was a troll coming, and he basically was like, "Oh gosh, my weapon. I thought it was damaged. I don't want to hurt it. I'll pick up a rock and throw it." And he rolled a natural 100, and then he rolled like a 92 or something.
Oh, it was bad.
And he wound up killing it with one hit by throwing a
with
rock.
a rock.
It
Well,
was
somebody
amazing.
took somebody's arm off with a sling, and
Quite honestly, like I've heard some of these stories from Hal. It's not something I think I would have any interest of playing.
Tim likes it where it's controlled and level balanced and all of that. No, Rollmaster's amazing because at any point you might just die.
No, it's just like I've heard some of these stories, and I'm like, oh, man, that doesn't sound fun at all.
But Dungeon Crawl
Really?
Classics is the same way. It's all about
to
first
give you some
edition D&D.
context. So like, Hal was like, I guess a game where like one of his elf scout friends or whatever, he just didn't wear his helmet. And he got shot, and he like his head got blown off or whatever, and he like died from like a random arrow from a random bandit.
The critical says if you wear a helmet, you are knocked unconscious. If you are not wearing a helmet, basically you're dead.
Yeah, I just don't like. It's kind of like it just reminded me of like a Dark Souls setting. If you guys ever
you know what the rule is there, Tim, right? Wear your fucking helmet.
Yeah.
I played a game of
Rollmaster.
I played a game of Rollmaster for literally 6 actual months, playing twice a week, and my character was at -75 with literally a shattered leg the whole time. Everything I did was at -75.
So you were
in a percentile system.
So you were Tiny Tim from Charles Dickens.
Well, I was a fighter. So what we ended up doing was just locking my armor. So it was just like a stiff leg the whole time, but it was just shattered to pieces inside.
Yeah, because healing is not.
It's just
cheap.
It just me personally, that's not something I would like to play.
We were stuck. We were nowhere near healing. That was the problem. So the best part about it, Rollmaster, I love how Ned played his healer. So in Rollmaster healing, there's 2 kinds of healer, but the best kind is the lay healer, where they touch you. So if you're a fighter and you're all like broken and lying on the ground, the lay healer will come over and they'll touch you, and they'll cast a spell called Transference, and it will transfer all of your wounds from you to them. And then you stand up fully healed, and they collapse to the ground with all your broken shit.
Which is great because if you get a leg cut off,
the leg literally just goes. The leg doesn't actually sever; it just kind of goes like useless. So they have to cast the spell that reconnects it.
I thought they said it did because because your leg or hand or whatever falls off the. I
don't know if it actually falls off you, but it's as if it were disconnected.
The thing is then they start like fast healing. And
so I thought
then they cast spells to heal
baby
themselves.
hand, which you can do unconscious. So
all of their spells are self, so they cast everything on themselves. So they take all your wounds and heal themselves.
But it's not necessarily consciously cast. I remember when Ned fell down a large.
Oh yeah, he could be. Honestly, healers are some of the most robust characters in Rollmaster because they can take so much damage, and eventually they will always get back up.
Except
eventually,
there's a problem with some of the head wounds can actually make it so you can't do that. So if you transfer somebody who's got a bad head wound, you can put yourself into a state where you can't.
It's only a high enough level spell you need to fix that, though.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The transferal ways spell, the highest level you have to cast it at a level of the spell needed to heal the highest damage.
Yeah.
So it's impossible for a healer to cast a spell to transfer damage it can't heal.
Right.
That makes sense.
Probably.
Right.
But it's cool. And Tim, I think you'd like it. It would break you out of this kind of static, built, structured, computer-based, level, balanced stuff. And launch you into this whole... I have like half a room filled with role-playing games that don't give a fuck about how well-balanced things are.
Yeah.
I don't know. just listen to your stories. It's just not something that I would enjoy playing.
Yeah, it's
I
like
think
Lost.
you would enjoy it, Tim. You're just not open to the experience of the possibility
it's
of death at
about
any
the-
moment. It
It's
adds,
about the role playing because
yeah,
in
every
first
single
edition-
dice roll becomes exciting at that point.
I mean, honestly, just personally, it does not sound appealing.
and
Oh,
like first
Tim,
edition,
you've got to step
you always have
out
a
of this
run.
thing. It's not every. Just let it go. Let free
No,
flowing.
no, because you have a hidden agenda. No, absolutely not.
Absolutely. No, Rollmaster, I always roll with open dice. I never play it hidden.
Yeah.
If the dice say I roll 100 and then a 97 and then a 98, then that's just sad for you.
No, I honestly, I'm more interested like the progression of the story, and that's what I'm really interested.
You'd be very surprised that in a game like Rollmaster, the story actually progresses better and character develops much easier than in a game like this. Well, not even like D&D 5 specifically, where the rules are very balanced and every fight is the party is probably going to beat it unless they do something stupid. Yeah, there's too much math. And weirdly, Rollmaster has more math, but less math.
Yeah. Well, I mean, D&D is one of those things where it's like, since everybody can heal on a short rest and stuff, it's not like the clerics devoting themselves to the healing as much.
That's all a holdover from 4, right? Where everybody can heal themselves. Actually, another system I really like is Earth Dawn.
That's what's that system? I remember. It's like
faster.
It's
the same system as Shadowrun. So it's Shadowrun, but it's after Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
so weirdly, the fantasy setting comes after the sci-fi setting.
Yeah. But the thing is like first edition D&D, like the old basic set, and Dungeon Crawl Classics. It was all about like the role playing. You could have 5 different. Everyone in the group could be a fighter, but they're all so different because of the role playing. Like, look at Game of Thrones. Look at Game of Thrones. There's so many people there that are quote unquote fighters, but they're all different, and that's the beauty of the game. But you could be like, oh, you walk into a room and there's a dragon and 2 demons that are the underlings of the dragons. Well, we're 2nd level. Yeah, what's your point?
Well, I mean, there's so much.
You run.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff that's not codified in the rules too, so you get a lot more creative on, well, I want to try and do this with this, and it becomes a lot more of a negotiation of no, you have to make this roll on this stat.
Yes. I mean, another game I really like is Warhammer Fantasy. Honestly, it's amazing. It's so gritty. Tim would be like, "Oh my god."
Oh yeah, Fear Towns.
It's brutal as fuck. It really is. It's brutal.
How so?
The combat system is really bad. It's bad for the players in the sense that when you run out of hit points, you start rolling on critical hit tables, and you just end up with like no eyes and your arms chopped off, and it's really bad.
Yeah, it's much more realistic.
Starfinder is
super brutal.
Starfinder's kind of nice, where like you have like stamina, I think, right? That's like there's a lot of stamina, and you go through that, and then after the stamina is gone, you start going into hit points and con, and that's when like injuries are really dangerous. So it's almost like the fights where you like Bruce, John Wayne is punching people out, and he's just taking bloody noses, and then there's a scene, where people are starting to get kicked in the ribs and spitting blood. That's when you're starting to really get hurt, Well,
I mean, that's what I love about Classic Traveler, where your hit points are really your 3 physical stats. So
that's right.
You start getting just like less functional as you take damage in combat, and then become paralyzed or unconscious, and you learn to really avoid
fighting in the first place. So that was part of it. So older games. Tim's busy looking at his crotch and not listening to us talking about older games with him. Tim, we're over here. We're talking to you about games.
Hey, you get on Nick too. He's looking at his phone also.
Yeah, but Nick's played other games. You haven't. We're talking to you. You're the neophyte here.
The neophyte.
No, it's just like I played like a bunch of role-playing games when I was I had some.
What did you play, Tim?
We played a lot of. Is it Mech Warrior? I think it was Mech Warrior.
Did you do the role-playing role for Mech Warrior, or were you just doing skirmish battles?
No. So one part we were defending. I forgot the Mad Cat mech. Last time we played, we were actually guarding a facility, and basically the facilities were attacked, and then the party got separated. And my character had like some type of toughness thing where he could take like a ton of hits, and I was basically down a hallway trying to guard it, and then these people kept coming, and I forgot how the damage worked, but I wouldn't die, and then we were talking about it later, like, yeah, technically, Tim, you should have died. Like, all these people coming. So what eventually did, but they kept on coming, and I had, like, the maximum grenades. I forgot what they were. I had a ton of them, and I plugged all of them. Like, I just ripped all of them and made my character suicide, and we never played after that. We never had another session. I basically blew up, like, half of the facility up, just taking out all the guys.
I always liked BattleTech a lot. It was a great game. I loved BattleTech. It was amazing.
So
the game MechWarrior is based on.
The MechWarrior game Harebrained Schemes came up with, the same people that did Shadowrun.
Oh yeah,
on Steam. It's really good. It's turn-based, and it's based a lot like the game of old. I have both. I have the Shadowrun games from Harebrained Schemes. I have the BattleTech game. They're
me
great.
too. The BattleTech one really.
I do like Shadowrun as well. Throwing that out.
I think.
Although I think everybody's going to be playing Cyberpunk soon on all the big streams, right? Because the game's coming out.
But Shadowrun RPG might really get traction then, right?
I don't know. Cyberpunk will. I've got a bunch of Cyberpunk stuff. I love running Cyberpunk.
Of course, I love.
Although all games end the same.
Yeah. Well, same with Call of Cthulhu.
One member of the party screws over everybody else for the money. That's always what happens.
Yeah.
Always.
True.
I mean, it's like Call of Cthulhu. I love the system, and I do love, but it is that slow degradation of your party.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the mechanic because the percentile mechanic is so straightforward, but it exposes some weaknesses because like the better you are to skill, the harder it is to advance. But your failure percentages are kind of flat. So it's like you really want to like throw in more situational bonuses because there's not a good way typically written into the adventures for like research for giving you bonuses for having a library or whatever. You just roll your library use.
Right.
So I mean, it really needs
some sort of no matter how good this library is, it depends how good you are at using libraries.
Yeah. So it's like there should be, the plus 10 circumstance bonus with the,
there is in the newer system there are advantages and disadvantages or bonuses and for whatever the hell it is where you can actually add advantage to rolls, which is better. But I don't know. I like Cthulhu. I would love to roll.
Suffer from that.
Yeah, I mean, no system's perfect, right?
Well,
I mean,
but the thing is, a lot of systems suffer from. I've been in a lot of game systems, Pathfinder, D&D, just name the system, and it depends a lot on the DM. Where, like Dungeon Crawl Classics, for example, is really good about this. They say we're not going to really bog the system down with a bunch of skills. If this is a simplistic setting of fantasy where people weren't experts at everything, and if someone is knowledgeable about a particular topic, like they were a butcher as a 0 level character and they became a 1st level fighter, then they might have the heal skill because they've seen a lot of animals and they've butchered them and all that kind of stuff, so they don't need to roll. And same thing with like searches. There's a lot of games like Pathfinder suffers from that too. Everything's a roll. Like, oh, there's a secret door in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Make a roll, perception. Whereas in Dungeon Crawl Classics, there is no roll for that.
Nice.
The thing is like, are you looking behind the painting where the secret door is? You automatically find it.
Yeah.
Kobolds ate my baby.
Yeah, that's a great one.
You did a session on that in the system, right? Burn, baby, burn.
So like, and the other thing like on Pathfinder is like, if you don't have the party specifically on skills, the DC of all the like checks get like astronomical. Like if you do not actually each person, if every person in the group is trying to do like everything, like towards once you get a higher level, you're actually crap. Like you have to be really good at certain skills because once you get higher level, things actually require a certain DC, and if you don't have the skill points into that skill, you're never going to make the DCs.
I mean, that's. I mean, ultimately, you can't view it that way. Your character should develop like a character, which is partly why I like the mega dungeons, because it kind of forces you, rather than planning out a character for 20 levels, to actually react to your
No,
environment.
but
Mhm.
you're saying the exact opposite of what Tim's saying. I'm with both of you. Like from a
Well-
role-playing perspective, it's really good and enriching for the players. What you're saying, Hal. But
Hmm.
in the adventure, you need a DC 28 to meet this. It is
Yeah.
impossible with a natural 20 for anybody in the group to make that.
Sure, but I
Therefore,
mean, ultimately, if an adventure's written well enough, there are other ways around the problem. Which I think is the issue now with a lot of games. You've got to have someone who has X skill at X level in order to be able to get through Y door.
and that's a problem.
Whereas in older games, they just went, there's a door. And there was no X skill or, you know, it
Well,
was
that's
just
where-
you had to
Terribly.
come up with a solution that made sense. And the GM was like, okay, that makes sense. Congratulations.
Well, and that's where like D20 always had the problem with criticals. I'm glad they added in the critical confirmation.
Yeah.
I hated
but-
that.
Right, but when you go to the
I love how Bill's all like about the save or die kind of shit. It's really
Right.
fun. It's like save or die.
So much, but
the-
when you roll a natural 20, you want it to be special. Nothing
Right.
sucks worse than rolling a natural 20 and then not confirming and doing 2 points of damage. I rolled a critical, but no, you
yeah,
didn't.
but you can roll a critical and still do 4 points of damage then, if you confirm. It's not a guarantee of mega damage.
All I ask is I would like to finish or if we die, we die. That just happens. But I would like to actually go from start to finish on something instead
Hey
of keep
Tim,
starting.
I'm doing it for you, dude. You're well through the second book of a 6-book series.
You're the one who left Skull and Shackles.
That is true, Tim. You did.
What do you mean? No, I didn't.
Oh man, shit's about.
No.
Move to an entirely
No.
different thing.
What happened was because that was right when Becca moved, and that's when COVID hit, and that's when we stopped playing. That's exactly what happened. That was about the time where Becca moved to College Station, and that's when COVID hit, and then basically we haven't played Skull and Shackles since then.
I know, it makes me sad. I quite like that game.
That's exactly what happened.
I loved how terrible you were at playing a charismatic character.
It was pretty awful.
Well,
I wanted it because it gave me high AC, and that's the reason why I picked it.
It was guaranteed comedy because you wanted it because of the game reason, but in role-playing terms, it was gold.
Well, I mean that's the problem with between physical and mental stats. It's way easy to role play somebody who's stronger than you or more dexterous,
Yes.
but somebody that's more charismatic or
wiser
or smarter.
I have a 27 in wisdom. The hell does that even mean?
I think we should eat the spoiled food and save money. Yes.
Okay, yes, do that.
Yeah, the stats never save you from doing the stupid thing.
And that's where the DM and the player could just say, you know what, I'm not good at this. I'm going to let the dice roll.
Well, that's that point where you have players playing characters that they literally are not good at. And is that a point of the GM to go, look, dude, you suck at this. You need to make a different character. Or are they just like, okay, let's explore this as far as you can go and let the dice rolls make it? Personally, I'm on the role-playing side. So I would rather you can kind of play your character. I mean, it's easier to play a character that's kind of cleverer than you, right? You just kind of know everything and you kind of bullshit your way through the stuff. It's hard to play a character the charisma's always been the problem, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to play a character that's more charismatic than you. And the problem historically with gaming is that most gamers are not very charismatic.
Yeah.
Luckily,
No.
luckily, they haven't made a character that's more charismatic than me.
That is true. They've never made a character with 10,000 charisma.
Society would call
Charisma of Will Smith.
0
Is that a lot?
10? Minus 10? Which genre are we talking about here?
All of them. He's perfect.
Not current Will Smith. Like, if you're talking about the Fresh Prince, I'll give you the Fresh Prince.
It's like one of the producers for Cobra Kai, so don't touch him.
I don't want to touch him.
I mean, ultimately, what does a producer do other than provide money and go?
Yes,
good
but
to
it's the
me.
fact he is doing that makes me happy. The man.
I mean, that just means he has more money than sense. And didn't his kid do that terrible remake of Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Well, they also did that.
So what we could look at this as is him putting his money in to appease us for the terrible remake of Karate Kid.
Well, he also did that movie to help try and launch his kid's acting career, where they were father and son and crashed on the planet, and the kid had to do all the adventure
That was
stuff.
a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like
It was
your
the Will Smith
Glock-kin or
vehicle that
whatever
Will
it
Smith
is.
wasn't in really.
Ruin everything.
Tim's got a Glockkin or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
All right, kids, it's getting late. I'm gonna sign off.
Yes, have a wonderful time. Visit us on the website. Come see us on the Discord. Come see us on various other social places. Sorry we bullshitted for like 20 hours.
Yes, we did.
Sorry, I had fun bullshitting.
Honestly, the only person that's angry at this point is Tim. Everybody else had a great time. We hope you had a great time. Tim's got a Glockkin and makes him happy because it's got stats.
I'm also
All right.
fixing the last broken pistol we have tonight.
Say good night.
Bye.
It's all
Bye, y'all.
video.